these individual matchups are going to go. Obviously, in the mid lane, I feel like Lina gets ahead a little bit. Like, she has a little bit more kill threat. She has a little bit more just last hitting potential. You know, every kind of aspect she pulls ahead a little bit on the lash with range. So I do feel like Quinn maybe gets a little bit more out of it. But I mean, overall, it's just going to be a farmathon. Like, these two guys are just going to ignore each other and hit creeps.
Yeah,
right?
I think mid should just be like 55-45 for Lina. Maybe 60-40 at the worst. But it should just be slight advantage for him. I think top is going to be really favored for this Timbersaw. Like the Timbersaw Bat, I think are both really strong laners, really strong heroes. And Bristol is honestly not the worst hero versus Timber early, because Timber has such low armor. And if you get these like Quill stacking up, it can be fine. But it's, I don't know. I think that lane is probably going to be the biggest opening for gaming to get a big lead. And usually Clink's lanes are, you just want a 50-50. Your Clinks gets really tanky when he's around like level 3 or level 5. He just gets multiple points to Death Pact. And then the Bane is able to leave and kind of, you know, ruin the game of someone else than his lane. So a lot of the action will probably happen around this top lane, whether it's kills or not, or just like lane pressure. And so that's the big one we'll have to watch and see.
Ooh, a little bit of fighting for the bounty rune here. It is going to be 3 bounties going to game, and Celery goes in with the steal. But is he going to pay the price? I mean, beautiful flame break coming in from Tofu, knocking back jab. Celery's going to survive for now. They'll turn their attention towards the Clinks, trying to bring down Ollie before he dies, and he will do so. But he does go down himself. But first blood goes to Celery. I gotta say, pretty big win for Aurora here, I'd say.
It's honestly not that big for them, to be honest. Usually first blood just matters so much more than actually which hero dies itself. The Bane gets it, which, you know, is sad. If the Clink got it, it'd be a lot better, but
you're right.
First blood's basically worth 2 kills right now, so I would say that gaming's not too sad about it. They didn't use too much regen. Clinks used 0 tangos. The Bane used, I think, also 0. So overall, really nice trade for them.
Interesting.
And they also do secure 3 bounties. Not only do they get the first blood, they get 3 bounties. So
the difference maker, isn't it?
Yeah. Quinn is also going to be really happy. Just get his bottle slightly earlier than Lornov. And I think also Nature's Prophet showing up a little late to this first wave top ends up being really nice for Timber, because the Bristle doesn't solo pressure him. So the fact that Tofu is bought, Ace got a little soul XP and actually hit level 2 really, really early means that this lane will end up being pretty free for him if he takes a point in passive, which I think Timbers have been a lot more willing to do this, which I like more. I remember there was a phase where no matter what, Timbersaws would always skip passive every game.
Yeah.
It was like to prove a point, and I don't think it was the greatest. So now people are taking like 1 or 2 points in passive and still going back to maxing his damage spells, which I think is just a much
so powerful in lane.
Yeah, it just feels a lot better from all perspectives, like for the Timbersaw perspective, and also just, you know, even just laning with it, it feels easier to leave him in the lane and not have to constantly kill the enemy hero to the lane.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some like kind of duos and matchups where you kind of go, well, maybe, you know, we can just keep on killing this lane, but I don't think this is one of them. Obviously Bristle, very tanky, and Batrider, you know, takes a few levels to really get on board.
The big one is usually versus the anti-melee heroes. You go no points in reactive armor like Monkey King, Ursa, Slark, because all you need to do is keep them low so they can't kill you. And if you ever do this thing where you just like let them hit you and trade, it sucks. But versus the heroes that, you know, they casually poke you and you casually need to kind of exist, it's better to have a point in passive. So you can just get this like free lane control because you're not constantly half health or lower.
Heavy fighting at mid is Lornov and Quinn really going at it. But
yeah, that was
right now
pretty intense. Quinn was just tanking a full wave.
Yeah.
To keep hitting the Leshrac. The scary thing right now for mid lane, I would say, is more so on Aurora. Like Quinn supports are definitely fine. Batrider coming mid and like, you know, getting a flame break on him, but both of Aurora supports are really good around this mid lane. We've seen Marcy's just do a TP mid into just pressing rebound, dispose, and killing an enemy mid no matter what. And there's also Nature's Prophet who gets a free TP. So I think if there's a way that they secure, you know, both water runes for Lornov, by just getting one and denying the other from the Lina, it could kind of change this mid lane matchup because it's starting to get in the pretty hard phase of the lane.
Yeah, I mean, Lorinov, even though he looks like really far back in the middle lane, you know, he's playing like way under his tower, not really approaching Quinn. He's doing fantastically on CS. Like he's matching the Quinn CS perfectly. So yeah, I mean, credit to Lorinov here on the Lesh, just really withstanding the pressure, not cracking under the constant damage and aggression of Quinn on this Lina.
Yeah, usually in these hard matchups, like I would say like Lina and sometimes Sniper, you can have the same CS, but the lane looks and or feels like you're losing just because you take way more HP damage. Like you're constantly like a little low because they're getting all this free chip damage on you. But as long as you don't open yourself up to completely free pressure and you keep getting like the CS, you're fine. Most mid lanes for the very long amount of time, like the last like year or 2 years, is as long as you're not down a very significant amount of gold or you don't get solo killed and you first picked your hero, you're fine. Like he got counterpicked mid. It's fine if he's down, you know, 100, 200, 300 gold. Just don't have zero impact and don't get solo killed. It's kind of all that gets asked of these days. Bot lane.
Definitely, yeah. They're going aggressively with the rotation coming in from Ollie as well, setting up onto Quinn, on Celery, but it's not really doing enough. And Jabs is actually taking a lot of damage in response. Now Tofu comes in with a counter rotation. Ollie, he TP'd into this lane, and now he's going to be going home the quick way. Jabs also maybe in some trouble here. They don't have much lockdown available between these two supports, though, so they are just going to be able to run themselves away on Q and Jabs. But nice response from GAIMIN. Very aggressive from Aurora to do that on like so close to the tier 1 tower though, surely.
Yeah, I don't know if they thought this in the game, but I thought they were going to dispose the Bane back, but Q doesn't have any points in dispose. Like he's just getting one now. And so I think the TP was a little awkward from Ollie just because he TP'd in a way that it looked like he was going to get disposed back in on the Bane.
Once again, they're left empty-handed. It's really difficult to kind of connect on these kills. All you've got is Sprout, Dispose, and Rebound, which sounds like a lot, but it doesn't feel like it.
Level 1 Rebound is so bad these days. Oh, you might find Duraccio,
some trouble here. Yeah, the team have kind of left him. Bye-bye, Duraccio. Why? Because the heaven's towards the middle lane. Yeah, and there is an amplified damage, which Tofu does just about grab it. Now Lorinov could be in some real trouble. Quinn's going to come across with the Laguna play. The right clicks coming through, the TPs are in, but it's too late. Lorinov is gone. And Tofu, he's not backing down either. He's got an amplified damage, and he's not afraid to use it.
That's the scary thing. It's his 6th rune. Badger shows up mid, gets a free kill on Lesh, and it's not a solo kill, but that's where the net worth starts being crazy, right? There's like a massive difference. Lesh probably gives up a wave to get in position for that bot rune. Then he dies, Lina gets the kill. Now he's just up 1,000 gold on the mid lane. Pretty much just like that. Big objective now is these XP runes. There's a Nature's Prophet in the game, which is always the... If there's heroes in the game, there's an XP rune potentially happening. So you'll see Tofu, he's going to show up really early. He doesn't want to get caught out. And then Celery's actually going to go for the steal because he has Nightmare.
Yeah, they see Q now. Q going to try and make this as awkward as possible, but Celery is going to be able to grab it. Batrider on the other side grabs the other one. It's both Wisdom Runes going to GAIMIN. Celery, he says, do what you must. I have already won. He's eaten all the donuts, and now he will die happy.
That's a win.
Oh, yeah.
Usually the double XP runes, even if you feed a support to like a triple rotation, it feels so worth. Because now if you look at the supports for Aurora, the Nature's Prophet is barely level 4. He has 2 XP into his level 4 timing. And he's never going to get a lane, really, just because Leshrak's going to constantly want to get all the gold on the map. Like, he wants every single mid wave when it pushes in. He wants all the jungle creeps. So they don't really have any stacks that they've made so far. Like, the Marcy's been laning bot. Marcy's also not that good at making stacks, so no stacks for the supports to catch up. No really lanes for them, and so the supports are going to be super low level for, like, I would assume they're not going to get level 6 on the Nature's Prophet for another, like, 5, 6, 7 minutes. You can see...
It's going to be tough as well, like, I don't know. Prophet, like, he's not super ulti reliant, but at the same time...
But you don't want this guy to be low leveled. You want him to be getting kills around the map, kind of feeling really scary to pressure. And when there's just a level 4 guy, he just kind of shows up and feels so useless.
Waddling around.
So there's 3 heroes for GAIMIN mid lane, and it looks like this might get really bad really fast.
Let's see. I mean, they're going to be able to run him down here. Nightmare's going to delay the inevitable, but the inevitable still comes. And all he does die. Jabso trying to set up onto Quinn with Lorinov, with Q, but they're unable to connect with the stuns. It's very awkward for Q. No one's in range for rebound right now. He's trying to desperately get off the dispos. The lightning storm's there, but it's not going to be enough. Quinn backs away. The weakness of Marcy really come into play here in this middle engagement. And sadly, that's kind of been Q's story so far. Nice dispos to try and get Jabs out of danger, and that does help him get up to the high ground.
That was... I can't believe they didn't catch him. They had a full duration roll. Marcy was... I feel like Marcy just kind of ran away. Maybe he was just too scared of getting one-shot by Quinn's damage. But that feels really bad. Anytime you TP a core and there's no kills to be had, especially when they use their ult, like this Pango's ult timing, his game is... He's top net worth of his team, and it's about to be in the dumpster to some extent. Just because now they've missed 2 full waves of creep spot. No one's getting it. This XP disparity is getting bigger and bigger because gaming hasn't missed a single creep wave yet. Like, it's been 10 minutes in the game. One hero's collected every single creep wave every single minute. And now bot has basically missed 2. I think now this is going to be the 3rd wave that they're missing, just fully gold and XP. And you can see there's already a 2k lead. And I think most of that is coming from just missing these waves and kind of the mid pressure from Quinn.
Like, why is Jabs being so active? You know, why is he? I mean, I guess that's
he just feels
when you don't
probably
get the kills.
I mean, it was close, right? If they got the Lina kill, everything's fixed.
23 moving on to Quinn here, but they've got the grip. Celery throws it down, and the interrupt is just going to not come in time. So 23 Savage is dead. Celery's going to follow him, though. Duratio just standing and delivering onto Q here. Q trying to back himself away. Out of abilities, all he's got is the dispos to work with. That's not going to save him from Ace. Ace brings him down, gets the double, and everybody else on the side of Aurora is running away.
Yeah, he's going to keep showing up, and I don't think it's necessarily bad for him to show up. He's Pango, and Pango level 6 is such a strong spell, just fighting around towers, fighting the early game, but you can definitely see the difference between him and Ace that's coming out already. Whereas right now, Jabs is 2-0 and 2. You look at his score, it's like, it's a good score. Your offender's having impact. He's in 100% kill participation. But just due to the fact that he's forced to run around and kind of join these early fights, he's already a full level down on Ace.
So... This is what I was worried about. Nature's Prophet shows on the bottom side, flings on him immediately, and one flame break from Tofu is just going to secure that kill. This low level Prophet sitting at level 5 against a level 8 Clanks, like he's just going to be solo kill material, and that is going to grab Duratio, his Desolator.
Yeah, which the Deso means it's hard for Pango to roll into the fights. So now all this early game impact and running out from Jabs is going to be kind of nullified anytime Duratio's there. And there's also the grip from Celery. Celery's level 7. And again, we talk about the support thing. Ollie's level 5. Like, if you compare the position 5s, there's just a 2-level difference there. Even on the pause 4s, Tofu's about to hit level 8 as well. Looking mid, Lorinov.
He's going to get jumped on by Duratio here with the lasso coming out. There's nothing he could do. Lorinov's just dead. No save to be had. Jabs rolling through the fight, trying to get something done, but there's nothing to be done here. GAIMIN Gladiators just forcing back Aurora, and this early aggression from them is just overwhelming Aurora completely.
Yep, this is just standard gaming, I would say. They have strong mid lane matchup counterpicked. They bring both their subs mid at some point, and then they just never leave the mid lane. They just kill any hero they can anywhere close to the mid lane, and they make you feel like you have to keep showing up and fighting them because they're getting too much from the map, but every time you do, they just have more heroes on you. They have 5 heroes mid.
5 heroes.
Yeah, and 23 doesn't want to show. He wants to get his Ags, he wants to farm, which is the right call to make, but it's really hard for anyone to feel like they're making the right choice because Bristleback doesn't show up to the fights, and he can't, but then it's, do you just give them everything? Like, it always feels so bad when you have to give every single thing of your map away. Which I think is kind of what Aurora feels like right now.
Yeah, just having to run away from these heroes. I mean, all of them just do so much damage. I mean, you know, I said in the draft, any 2 of these heroes alone can offer significant kill threat onto any one of the Aurora heroes, but when they're 5, it's just blink and they're dead.
Yeah, and on the other side, Aurora, they have to bring these like 3-4 heroes. It honestly feels like they might have to bring 5 just to kill anything. Ace is being pressured, but
all right,
Can they kill
could
him?
be the play. Let's see. He's trying to turn around and get a bit of damage, but I'm not sure he's got enough. Jab's going to throw in the Rolling Thunder, and with the Unleash, they will be able to bring down Ace. A critical kill here for Aurora. Not going to fix their problems just yet, but it's a first step.
It's really big to get kills like that when some guy's playing really cocky. I think Ace is probably feeling the same thing where he doesn't really think he can be killed. And so actively pressuring these heroes and killing them when they're playing like they can't gives you so much more off the map. It is also just Marcy. Marcy has max sidekick, and surprisingly a lot of damage comes out from this hero every time that... I think this hero, Marcy's not new, right? Marcy's been in the game for a pretty decent amount of time, but it feels not that... Like, I don't think everyone's that used to it still, just as a support. Just the amount of damage it does, because it's always been this hero that gets picked in such a weird state. There was only that one phase where it was like the best hero in the game, right? And I think that was just
nice
broken for not damage reasons. It was broken for like rebound dispose specifically.
Yeah. Ooh, Tofu. He's playing him right now. Q has taken a decent amount of damage just from the Firefly. Running them around in circles at the moment. 3 heroes chasing this Bat Rider. Oh, the swashbuckle doesn't connect.
No.
What?
I mean, he isn't quelling, you know. It was just
it was the
speak for the
psychological
trees.
sprout. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he just wanted to be part of the trees.
Need to be in a safe place for a bit after getting absolutely rattled.
There's a grip
by
on
Tofu
Lorinov
there. Uh-oh, that's not good. Lorinov's gone down again. The grip, it's too strong for the Leshrac to handle. Celery's gonna die though in response. Aurora, they're not letting them get away with this one for free. It's a low cost to pay right now, but if they can grab Ace again, that would be great. But Ace, Timber Chain down to the low ground. It looks like Aurora will be left empty-handed, so GAIMIN
They found the clings.
pretty happy with
Same
that.
ward.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh no, he wastes
He's
invis.
got no way out of this one. He's going to go for the TP, the dispose. Oh, the rebound connects, and the damage is there. Duraccio goes down. Thought he could just get a little pick off on the sidelines or in the backlines with all the chaos that was going in, but Aurora, they're locked in. Communication is good.
Yep. So the cool thing about Nature's Prophet versus these mobility spell-based heroes, like I would say like Weaver Clinks are the easiest to think of, are if you sprout them when they press their invis mobility spell, they have to break it to quelling out. Which ends up just being really nice for Aurora, because he presses Sprout on the Clinks as the Clinks press Invis, so he's not able to like Quelling Blade, he's forced to TP out, and then he just goes down just to the single stun for the Marcy.
But as Pablo did point out there, he was slept. That's what caused Duraccio to be caught out there. He was under the sleep from his teammate, which...
I don't know how he was sleeping.
Yeah.
I think he hit Nature's Prophet. I actually didn't see what happened. I just did notice that he was sleeping under a ward.
Was Celery still dead? I
Yeah.
don't think he was. Or maybe he was. Sure, I don't
know. First game of the day.
I don't know.
You know, he's
First
probably
game.
still waking up.
This is early time for gamers as Tofu just gets
bursted.
down. Yeah.
And they might find Ace
23.
too. There's a Rolling Thunder.
There is indeed. Quinn is on the sidelines, ready to unleash, but
stuck.
he doesn't really have a target right now. He's a little bit stuck in those trees. Can't back away. Has to go in, more or less. Ace still trying to mess around here, trying to catch Q, but oh, Timber Chain doesn't land, and that's going to be death for him. Ace goes down again. GAIMIN Gladiators, they're losing grasp of this game. I mean, they had such a lead. It was like 5k gold advantage up at 12 minutes. You know, this is the kind of lead which you don't see teams kind of coming back from too easily, but Aurora, forging the fires of SEA, just blasting their way back into this one.
Yeah, getting this Bristle Axe and kind of allowing him to show up to these fights, which, remember in the early game, he doesn't want to show up to the fights, but the second you get Ags, you feel really confident to just show up every single time that there's a fight going. You do so much damage at this point in the game. Look, he gets his Ags off right before he gets lassoed, and Battery just instantly disappears. He ceases to exist. And then Timbersaw is really tanky later in the game, but I think especially versus the Pangolier, it's really hard for him to do this like tank kite thing that he normally does because he's constantly getting stunned and like removing his Timber Chain, putting it on cooldown. It can be really hard to fight versus Pango early versus Timber because you also don't do damage.
Yeah.
He's invincible to all your damage and just constantly stunning you and annoying you in the chase.
But Tofu, he's not
Jabs.
deterred. He's still looking. Jab's going to be the target, but Jab's going to be on the right side of the Ancients not to get caught out there by Tofu and Quinn.
And Lorinov has been farming. He's still really far behind. You know, I wouldn't say like he's catching up, but his game is really hard. He's 0-3-0. The subs for gaming kind of kept coming mid and ruining his game. So he's in a very awkward position. I think something that he normally does really well is, as I was saying earlier, is farm. Like he always is really good at farming and really high net worth. But I think in this game, he doesn't really have the space to do it that well. Bristol's farming a lot just due to the nature of his hero, just being really aggressive, farming everything he can. And the places that Lorinov would be able to farm, which would be like these Ancients area, has constantly been ran at by Gaming Gladiators. Like they're running at this ward where he's farming right now and he couldn't farm there. Now they're playing in his tri-camp, so Ancients aren't even able to be farmed by him. So he's pretty much the one that Gaming is shutting down, intentionally or not intentionally, just based on map movements. And so Aurora is kind of going to rely on both Pango and Bristle to make up for just like the map state. It's sometimes one hero will have a bad game and it's, you know, it's not necessarily his fault. It's just based on how the map is kind of playing out.
I mean, it's based on the opponent's decisions as well. Like, not all of these ganks on Lorinov were successful. They were successful in killing Lorinov and taking and ruining his game, but, you know, they traded some big core kills and response when you're pretty far ahead. So Lorinov's just kind of got to take that one on the chin and accept that, you know, apparently Gaming Gladiators are willing to do anything it takes to kill him. And that's why he's 0-3-0. He's been dead before every single fight's taken place. So that's always going to affect.
So he doesn't get that XP or gold, really.
Yeah, it's really tough. But you mentioned it. This team is built around Lorinov for a lot of the kind of the way they play this game. So kind of forcing Aurora to refocus and play around 23 a bit.
The funny thing is you just can see how much stronger Gaming's map positioning is anytime that there's not a fight, because basically right before this Tormentor they were up 5k gold, and so from the time that they had all those like back-to-back deaths, whereas like the Timber died and the Bat Rider died, they were only up 2k gold. So basically in this like 3-4 minutes of nothing happening, they just gained 3k gold by just farming. And I think that's purely because they have so much more pressure on the map that Aurora doesn't. Like Clinks is constantly off the map hunting for heroes, and there's a Bat Rider and a Bane that can set up anywhere on the map, and Lina feels really safe to just push in these lanes pretty aggressively, which he might actually get caught right now for doing it.
Maybe feeling a little bit too safe there. Trying to illusion dodge the Rolling Thunder. That's not going to work out though. Rebound connects though, and doesn't look like Quinn will be going down. Ooh, and a bit of taunting coming out from Jabs as well as they bring down Quinn up in the top side.
Really nice catch. It's this taking the kills when they're aggressive is something that is really hard to do. You kind of have to predict it, because if they show up to top with like the Pango and the Marcy, when the Lina's hitting the wave, it's too late. Like if they press their TPs when the Lina's already hitting the wave, they're not going to catch him because he's already going to be gone in those 3 seconds. So it's pretty much you have to make a read of where are they going to show with, you know, one hero or not enough heroes that can we kill. Because at the same time, if Gaming brought all their heroes, maybe that fight goes better, right? Like maybe they lasso the Pango or the Marcy to give space for Lina to run away, but just really nice reads. And every one of these kills is so much gold. Like that was a 3k gold swing almost. They were down to 2k gold for a second. And so it just gives so much time for Aurora to kind of get their items and get their space back on the map that it feels pretty good for Aurora. Like the game doesn't feel too far in Gaming's reach right now, I would say.
No, but with this Aegis, it might start to feel a little harder. I mean, this is going to give Clinks pretty much free tower taking potential, which is very scary indeed. But then again, we have seen people get overconfident with these squishy heroes like Clinks. And yeah, they do see him hit. Oh, good reactions from Jirachi, though, immediately backing away. And he will survive that. I think it was the Dusk use that kind of made him realize that something might not quite be right.
Yeah, really nice read. The thing I've noticed a lot is this post-Roche fight actually is usually on the side of the attackers, not the guys who just got Roche. So Aurora smokes into the enemy team, and I think it's usually like surprise. Like you just got this Aegis, and usually with Aegis you're like, oh, they won't fight us guys, it's fine. Like, and you also have this habit of you bring 5 heroes to one objective, and so all of your lanes are pushing into you. And you don't really want to kind of have all lanes pushing into you because you have so much less vision, so much less like map control, that you want to split up, like spread out, get all your waves and fix the waves after Roche. And because of that, you're really vulnerable. because everyone's trying to figure out where they're going on the map, or they've already TP'd out. And so thankfully for gaming, they don't actually get caught out there, but that could have been a really nice opening for Aurora to get a kill or two.
Absolutely. It's kind of a new meta which has developed over the past year, I'd say, about going for the post-rush fights like almost immediately. Falcon's been ones to do it a lot, but pretty much every good team is doing it right now. Either smoking down a lane or running dark.
It's also just when you're behind, it can be sometimes harder for you to find just a favorable fight at all. And so that's one of the opportunities for you to get a fight and like take it. Because Aurora, they're not necessarily weaker in a fight, even though they're down gold. It's just that the angles for them finding the fights are harder because of the way the map is. And so in a 5v5 fight, maybe they're ahead, or it's a closer game, it's like an even game. But just based on the map, it's harder. Like Jabs might just go down here.
Yeah, too much damage coming out from Draccio.
Unless
no response available. Yeah, it was a little bit close there. I mean, Draccio, though, with the strafe, you know, it's so much damage. Then if strafe runs out, the guy's still not dead. It's burning barrage time, and you ain't living through that. Not with crits.
That's the map pressure from gaming. It's like both the Bat and the Bane just set up for free pretty much anywhere. And Aurora doesn't have the same pressure in terms of their supports. Like this Nature's Prophet is the one, he shows up after something's happening. And Marcy kind of has to play off someone. I would say, if anything, Marcy doesn't really do much unless there's a fight happening either. Like Pango's going to roll in and then Marcy will jump off him and follow up. I feel like when we watch XinQ play Marcy, because I think XinQ is the one who's been popularizing Marcy 4 recently. If to him, it feels like he kind of just farms until at some point he gets so many items that he's a carry. He'll get like BKB nullifier at this like 28-minute mark, 30-minute mark, and you're like, oh guys, Marcy's solo killing me, my fault.
Yeah, it's a very obnoxious hero in that regard.
And so the only hero that does anything for Aurora then is on this Pango. But Pango's also the one that has to show on these waves kind of to push them out. So I mean, it's like a lot on Jabs to not die like that to the Batrider, but also be the first one into the fights.
Yeah, but to follow up on the Marcy point, like, why do we see this with Marcy and not other heroes who can, you know, why don't people just play loads of different kind of scaling heroes as a positive? I'm not too sure. I think it's just because Marcy's ult is such a free like steroid in terms of damage. Oh, look at the positioning here. Straight in with the Curse of the Old Growth to give them the vision they need. Celery and Draccio just being run down here. Celery actually hands off the gem to Draccio. That was clutch, but is it going to pay off? Draccio in the trees. Oh, he's got a TP available, but he's holding off on it for now.
They didn't check out.
They didn't see him. They think he just ran. Wow.
Actually so surprised that they didn't catch them there.
And he didn't TP either, which is okay. All right, Draccio wants us to stick in the area.
He's going to walk into a sentry.
Fine. Yeah, he's now seen. He knows he's seen though because the treant was.
He has auto attack on.
Radiant's top tower is under
that could have been really funny if he didn't have auto attack on. But nice kill. Something really cool that Celery did there was he actually handed off the gem super fast.
Yeah.
When he knew he was going to die to the Clinks to hope the Clinks would get out with the gem, which actually ended up working, right? Like Clink saved the gem, so not as bad as it could have been. Losing the gem feels so bad in a lot of games.
I like how Draccio is just holding the gem now. He's just like, okay, yeah, this is mine.
Gem is really nice on Invis heroes because you get to like know when there's sentries and there's stuff that sees you, and you get to kind of de-ward and play the map really fast. And Radiant actually has a ward on Bristleback, and he's gonna walk into their entire team right now.
Yeah, this is a dead Bristle. Don't need to be much of an oracle to tell you that one. Just so much damage coming out. Lasso reveals that soft, fluffy belly.
You just walked face first into them. Didn't even have to do anything special with the lasso. And there's also a Silver Edge finished for the Lina now. So Ag Silver Edge, which is honestly a pretty interesting build. Like it doesn't feel like a standard build. Usually you go Ags and you want to go into more magic damage, or you go like this Gleipnir BKB Silver Edge build. So he's going more of a hybrid.
It's pretty crazy, right? Like the ability to just kind of start flying and then be invis and have all that movement speed, and with the travels as well, with the Silver Edge, like Jesus, Quinn's going to be a angel of death.
I think, to be honest, he bought the Ags because he wants to be able to fly at a Sprout. Like, he doesn't want to be caught in this position where he's stuck in Sprout, and he has to have a quelling in his inventory the whole time, so...
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, it's also really good for the magic resistance against Leshrac as well.
Yeah, that's true. Leshrac, you know, less damage, less healing from the Bloodstone, so just really nice. Looks like Aurora's gonna go smoke. And they are strong. There's no Aegis on gaming. Clinks has no BKB. Lina has no BKB. Timber has no BKB. So Pango's still extremely strong here in the fights if they're able to kind of get this one going.
It's a little awkward to start this though.
Yeah.
Both of them pop and they don't really have the vision down. Also wanted to mention that just before they went for the smoke, 23 did use Bristleback on an ancient camp, so wasn't going to have it available. I could have seen that coming back to bite them if they do make the jump. They get the kill and then it goes south.
Jabs top. Tofu's looking for a jump on him. Okay. Thankfully for Jabs, he did not pop the smoke. Oh.
Oh my god.
We have lost some heroes. Yes.
Don't say it. Don't mention
I mean,
patch.
this could have been one of those positive... Oh, it could be patch. It could be
Not
patch.
this early. But
No. It's a little too early in Seattle right now.
Yeah. They're getting their morning coffees in.
We lost a package.
42 packages have been lost. That's unfortunate.
That is so sad. Oh, he's gone. He's gonna go pick them up.
Someone has to.
If Jabs gets caught top, I think that can just be a high ground siege.
Really?
For gaming. Yeah, I think that the Clinks and the Lina can just kind of go high ground if they want to. So Jabs has to be very careful. He has no buyback. And Tofu's like right there ready. I would say if anything, this pause could have been so much worse if he had just like popped the smoke right now, because Tofu gets to know like, all right, I'm gonna blink on the Pango, but now Tofu doesn't see the Pango. Maybe he like doesn't blink instantly on him. Jabs gets out, so we'll see if he goes down here. But yeah, this death could be really bad if it ends up actually happening.
Yeah, neither of these guys see each other right now.
Yeah,
like. What does each team see? Aurora, they see just one here in the mid lane. They just see... Oh, no, they don't see
Great Jabs. Don't get caught.
All right. Yeah,
okay, nice.
The reader's there.
Plays it safely.
Away.
You always have to be really careful right after a pause. I feel like that's the most dangerous time in Dota games, in like competitive games. It's the 30-second window right after a pause. Because... especially the longer the pause has been, because you kind of like forget where heroes were or what they were doing, and you're just like forget where you're walking or why you're walking somewhere, and you just casually like walk too much, and then you just die kind of for free. So
I think that's why
Aurora
after pauses, we often see people like disengage, back off, and then
they just walk away.
It happens a lot. Like we'll have a pause where something's about to go down. We'll talk about all the different iterations, then everyone just disengages from each other because
it's safer. It's a safe thing to do. You don't want to play into teams when they have full information. So like information is kind of everything in Dota, like wards, vision, kind of if they're smoking, where they're smoking from. And so when there's a pause, there's usually an abundance of information that a team gets. Because like maybe a hero showing on a wave, or maybe a hero like blinked in to initiate, you know, just like something random happens. And so usually when you pause, it's the safest thing to kind of avoid this free fight.
I suppose in that regard, pausing is kind of more beneficial for the losing team, because they're usually the team which has less information. So,
yep. I mean, I dislike pauses. They're so unfun.
Oh yeah, it's a complete stop in momentum and changes.
It just like turns your brain off for a second, and it's so hard. Like you can try to not lose this like momentum in the way you're playing Dota, but it's really hard to actually do. Oh no, Jabs gets caught.
Out onto the Pangolin. It's a big catch, and they'll take him down instantly. The burst, we were never in doubt of it, and now the Glimpse goes out. Grip onto Lorinov. Lorinov just being blasted down by Duraccio. He does get off the Yules, but when he comes back, he's dead. Lorinov is gone. Gigi Suri has gone down as well, though, as Q comes right at Duraccio here. Q trying to do it all, but against the two cores, I mean, does surprisingly well. Now 33, 23 coming in, trying to blow him up. Takes down one, takes down two. Quit and Duraccio dead to the Bristleback. Now looking to Ace. Ace going to TP out. No cancel for that one. But 23, the savior of Aurora, But I mean, shout out to Q, you know, the
That was
tenderizer.
really Chad. He just went onto both cores.
That was fucking insane.
You see Jabs, there was a ward on him, which is why Tofu got this jump. And the really unfortunate thing is he actually pressed Lotus onto the Leshrac right before he got jumped. And then so Leshrac was able to get full ripped by the Bane pretty much. Doesn't get his Bloodstone off at all. Like he presses it at after the Yules instead of before the Yules. And so pretty much 2 heroes just go down for free. And the fight starts off to some extent being 5 versus 3. But Q just goes in, and then Quinn also misses the stun onto the Bristleback.
Yeah, that was
ends up getting them both killed. And so
hold on, we got
Ace is
5
gonna
minutes out around
contest.
the Roche pit right now as they've taken down Ollie straight off the bat, but Roche has fallen. 23 has the Aegis, and this is a problem for Gaming Gladiators. Jabs on the run,
gets the blink
Tofu
off.
on the chase. He's got himself a 4-staff, he's got himself an Ogre Seal Totem, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to follow this Rolling Thunder Pangolier. But yeah, like one really key thing to mention about Q in that fight, I feel like he actually could have killed the Clinks if he stayed on him, but instead he turns around and punches Alina as well, gets Quinn low as well, and that sets up 23 for the double kill rather than just securing Q just 1 kill for himself. So even though he has got this like big carry build going on, he's still a support at the end of the day.
he is still a support. This Roche steal thing is actually really funny these days. Because you don't really want the last hit on Roche to some extent. Like obviously you get the gold and you get the XP from killing it, but now this third Roche, it's Gaming is the one who gets the Roche roar.
Yeah, the roar,
Which is a really funny
retribution.
thing. I feel like the
Very
Roche roar
silly.
should be tied to Aegis
Yeah,
rather than
I
the
kinda
last
agree
of
with
Roche.
that.
Because effectively Aurora has the better third Roche now because it won't roar on them, which is just it's just a funny interaction. Like
It's a bit silly. Who knows?
Yeah, I
Patch later today, maybe it'll be changed.
yeah, maybe they're gonna make the third Roche pit or like 4. They'll put him in the river in the corners of the map. They'll just be constantly running around the map and you have to find him.
I mean, when we had those bugs where Roche would just go roaming, like
It was so funny.
Those were pretty fun.
My favorite would be laning mid and you just see him like walk across the lane, just like from top into bot rune.
Oh, hey, buddy.
You're like, oh, hey there.
You just pass them by. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower
You're at shit with the deniers. 23 approaches the middle tower. Mid tower tier 1 finally goes down 34 minutes into the game.
So the Russia still has no BKB. If the Marcy and or the Pango get on him, he just kind of goes down. He buys a nullifier for, I believe it's just for the less Yules. And I get Nature Prophet also has Yules. It's not the greatest yet to like have this nullifier, I would say. There's like not too much of a reason besides killing the Lesh. It's like you just don't want the Lesh to get Bloodstone Yules off is probably the main reason why he buys it, but it's definitely scary to not have BKB, I would say, in this game. Just because of Pango. And even Marcy to some extent. Like not having BKB versus her means that when she jumps on you, you kind of just die.
Radiant are scanning.
He needs to be really safe in the fights. If he ever gets gone on, I think he kind of just goes down. So maybe he's just recognizing that, and rather than playing to be able to get gone on, just play to never die. You know, I think it works on Clinks because he doesn't have to show in the fights. He's invis, gets to run around kite, and Lena's going to be the really one that pumps out the damage on this initiation. Jabs.
Oh, they found him, and yeah, that's a dead Pangolier. No hesitation on that one. Again, the killing duos from Gaming Gladiators just absolutely deadly, completely lethal. You can't stand against it.
That's just the power of Batrider, I would say. Like Lasso feels so short of a cooldown. It's like you almost always have it every minute just to get a kill, and like you were saying, just all the way at the start, it's Bat +1 kills any hero on the map. Like he takes any one of his cores next to him in a smoke or just, you know, shows up and they get a kill. 23 is now level 25. He takes the spell lifesteal talent, which is actually interesting. I think most people usually take the warpath damage,
Yeah.
especially because he already has spell lifesteal from Bloodstone and it's amped by his paladin sword. So it's like, are you getting too much spell lifesteal? Like there's a point where it feels diminishing, right?
Definitely, yeah.
We'll see.
Guess he feels like he hasn't hit that point yet.
Yeah, I also think he's not really getting to right click too much because he probably feels if he ever tries to right click, he'll just instantly die. So I think he's more so playing to be like a body and kind of like forcing them away from his team and protecting his team so that his Leshrac and even Marcy to some extent get to do the damage.
Plus, they have a lot of stuns, they have a lot of slows, like just not... Sometimes you're not going to get off this Bloodstone. If you get gripped or if you get lassoed, then Bloodstone's not going to be there for you, so having
more
that bonus
nice.
spell lifesteal is going to be really, really important. Keep
also, if he gets broken, the bristleback, like the active with the Ags, matters more. So just like having this like smaller amount of quills heal you more is better for surviving the Silver Edge than like dealing a little more damage.
Definitely. Picks up a tier 4 item, and that'll be an Ascetic Cap as well, so that's gonna help for sure. Actually, what an item in this draft. Wow.
Yeah, it's really nice. You won't get gripped as long, won't get lassoed as long. He can kind of just run in. He's gonna have a Lincoln's as well. Just like, it's just about finished. Jabs is also going for one, but he's pretty far away. And the nice thing is, Ollie's getting a Wind Waker, which I actually really like. I think the item is super, super strong. And we've actually been seeing it a lot more recently because games are going later and later.
Yeah.
And it's a good, it's like a very good item versus Bane, because you just end the grip instantly, especially even if the Bane gets an Ags, which is what he's going for, you can end the grip no matter what. Versus Batrider, I actually believe it doesn't work in lasso. Like if you Wind Wake your ally who's lassoed, I don't think it works.
Oh, really?
Yes. I could be mistaken, but I believe it's one of those things that just like doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it just makes the noise, but nothing happens.
Yeah, and it goes on cooldown.
Yeah.
So it has to make sure you don't waste it on this lasso, but it's still really good. Even like you press on your Bristle before he gets stunned by Lina, or like press on your Lesh when he clicks Bloodstone and he's dying too fast. It's just very helpful.
And of course, even if the Batrider does go in and you can't lasso the Flaming Lasso target, then you can still use the Batrider. And I mean, sure, why would you build a Wind Waker for that? Well, it's got ridiculously short cooldown as well, so...
Yeah.
So
Marcy's about to finish
23
Basher.
to 13, is it?
Yes, it's a 10-second reduction. It's like 9 with Octarine.
Oh, 23 Savage is running at Quinn right now. Tofu tries to jump in and go for lasso, but it doesn't work at all. Lincoln's is there, and now Jab's rolling through everyone, but just dying. Oh my god, the Clinks. He's tearing him apart, but they'll move on to him now, and Q and 23 take down the Clinks and move on towards Quinn. Quinn, what have you got? He's got an invis available in 1 second, gonna go for the TP out. They don't have the damage to kill him off, so Quinn will escape from this one, but convincing fight there from the side of Aurora.
So no Basher yet, but he has Basher finished on Q, so these TPs aren't going to work anymore. Like you can't actually TP out of Aurora. And wow, I mean, Jab's got completely like deleted. He just rolled into the Clinks, and you see this Clinks versus Pango matchup like right here. He just piked and then he's dead.
It's from the low ground as well. Maybe the burning archers don't miss, but I don't know about that. Celery, meanwhile, getting killed off by the Leshrac on the bridge.
I think it was kind of a part thing of the Aesthetics cap. It's really hard to just start on the Bristle in these fights. And also he had Lincoln, so he dodges the lasso, and then he's able to feel like there's no control on him. And he just gets to run into the fight, just use his entire like HP pool to just feel invincible. Especially because no damage went onto him. All the damage was onto the Pango, and at the same time that the damage was going onto the Pango, he was already on the Clinks. And Clinks no BKB, if Aurora gets on top of him, he's dead.
Yeah, he's gone. It's a really interesting game for the Bristleback especially, because you kind of don't... You either want to throw everything you've got at him, like the whole kitchen sink, or you just kind of try and pick off around him. And it kind of felt like GAIMIN had differing ideas about how they were going to approach that fight, which is interesting, because that's, I feel like, something which, you know, they would have discussed beforehand many, many times, or just innately know, but... Maybe just...
I think they probably wanted to get the jump, and then the second that the lasso got blocked by Lincoln's, the fight started to get really awkward for them. I think the biggest thing in their fights is Duracho needs to not get gone on, which is a really hard ask because there's so many heroes that can go on him. Like Pango might roll on him, Bristle's going to run at him. There's a Nature's Prophet maybe TPing and pressing Curse of the Old Growth, giving him vision, or even just a Marcy randomly blinking on you. Like any of those 4 heroes start the fight onto you, and you'll probably just die like somewhat instantly.
Yeah.
Here's the Roche. It will not roar.
BKB he's just picked up, so we do know a BKB on Duracho at the very least. That's going to help him out quite a lot. But Roshan is starting to go down, and as you mentioned, no roar scan has to be used, and they're picking it out, but it's just too late. Aegis now for Loranov. finally bringing this Leshrac back into the game. He's farmed himself back up. He's almost back in it. I think plus level 25, and this is going to be a scary, scary Leshrac. Yet another hero
He might
for
get
GAIMIN
up,
to
though.
deal with. Under the cover of smoke right now. They see the creeps dying. They know what's up. Tofu, though. Is he going to be quick enough with the...
It's too weird to jump a guy who's smoked like this. Like, he could be anywhere in a little circle, and so if you mess up this blink dagger, or the Marcy was there to like blink on you and bash you or something, and you go down, you just kind of, to some extent, have thrown the game. So, nice job to not just blinking blind, but it is getting awkward for gaming, I would say, of how they want these fights to play out. I think the Aurora cores have a much easier time of kind of connecting and doing damage. Like, none of the gaming cores do anything in the fights in terms of utility. Like, all three of the heroes basically are pure damage outside of Elena stun. Versus if you look at Aurora's heroes, you have stun on the Lash, you have Rolling Thunder on the Pango, you have Bristle with a bunch of slows and just like kind of tanking and AoE damage. And so I think just execute wise in the fights is all on Batrider for gaming. Like, everything is on Tofu to get a really good lasso, not die in the initiation, and then kite the fight. Versus Aurora, it feels like anyone can just kind of go in and start the fight, and as long as they don't get 100-0 bursted split from their team, they're happy.
Oh, Quinn. Oh, Quinn. Rolling Thunder is out. The stun is in. He's got the Ascetics Cap, which is going to allow him to get off the BKB and back himself up. BKB forced. Will there be anything more? Lorinov really standing his ground here, but he's got to be careful. I mean, Aegis is available, but going to be popped. He cannot stand his ground, and there's double chakrams coming out onto him straight away. The lasso is there, but as is the Lotus, which is going to make it very tricky for Tofu to engage, especially with all the spells being thrown on him right now, forcing him back and making it hard. Q jumping around left, right, and center, even popping the Unleashed to just get himself away. Give him that purge as Lorinov once again being jumped here. He needs help, but he's not going to find it. Lorinov's dead again. Aegis down. Leshrac down. Ollie down as well as the damage comes through from the Clinks. Duraccio being able to just stand and deal the damage this time around, but Ace on the front lines might be finished off by 23 Savage, but no. And there comes a grip now onto the Bristle. Interrupted though by Jabs, but it cost him his life. The Clinks again just free casting from the sidelines of this fight. It's too much damage coming out from Duraccio, coming out from Quinn. They take down 4 on the side of Aurora and an Aegis. Oh, this game just took a nosedive for Aurora.
Is the game just over? They might just go high ground. There's no buybacks on any of the cores for Aurora. And Clinks they have Clinks Lena. Like, they have so much pushing power. If gaming kind of like takes the risk and goes high ground, it can get really hard for Aurora. I think the big thing in that fight was the Clinks never got gone on. They were poking all the other heroes, like the Lena and the Timber and stuff like that, but never the Clinks. And I think every fight that they've won, the Clinks goes down.
Yeah.
Or gets like heavily pressured by like Marcy blinking on him, or the Bristleback running at him, or the Pango. And they pretty much didn't have that at all in that fight. Quinn sees this and look, he's clicking throne.
This is a very, very aggressive push. Look at the damage coming out on these tier 4s. Fortification has been saved and now used by Aurora. They need to buy every second they can, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Pangolier has
15
respawned.
seconds. They're going to get through this Ancient very quickly indeed, but no. GAIMIN.
They're scared.
Oh, they back up.
There could be a Bristle buyback. They don't know about that one.
Yeah.
And if the Bristle does buy with like a roll going through them, it still can get awkward. And usually right now, it's better to not throw and not in the game than like try to end the game and throw. So
yeah.
Especially when you win a fight that convincing. Like, it was what, 4-0, I think? And so you don't feel like, oh guys, we have to end this game now. Like, they're not one of the teams that's on the back foot and won a crazy fight. They were in the lead. It was just hard for them to find a clean fight in mid lane.
Buddy, he's just dead. The right click's going to find him, and they're going to bring him down. Lorinov in the front as well. He's going to need a bit of help here. BKB comes out. The damage is still there from the Clinks, but not enough to finish the job. Lorinov does make it up to the high ground, but Q, I'm not sure what that was. It was just a little too far forward, unfortunately.
I think this Hex on Ace is doing a lot of work. He has Blink Hex. He just keeps starting the fights on Lorinov or Q there. And I don't think Aurora's kind of respecting it, because gaming doesn't have... They had the issue where they didn't have catch on their course. Now that there's a Blink Hex just on the Timbersaw, there's 2 fights in a row, or like, you know, 2 back-to-back things in a row that went really well for them. And Duraccio has purchased a Divine Rapier.
Wow. Okay. I mean, he's
gonna end the
always
game,
wanted to
right?
do the most damage in this game from the beginning. And that's going to continue. I mean, does that feel like a necessary risk to you?
I mean, no. But
Okay.
the game can just end so fast. If this bristle
Yeah.
gets broken, he'll just
Look
instantly
at him.
die.
Look at the Ratio. He's just on their
Wait,
faces
Ratio?
right now, jumping on them. The damage coming in, but look at the heals coming out. It's a 23 Savage. Jesus Christ. Bloodstone, it ain't no joke. Forces them back, kills off Ace. And Gaming Gladiators suddenly wondering if this was really the play as they back themselves away. Aurora defend. They keep it going. Seemingly not feeling the pressure of having the Ancient exposed right now.
I mean, it's a interesting purchase. I definitely don't think he needed it for damage. Every fight, he was already completely shredding. I think they just thought they'd be able to walk high ground and just... Because once he gets his skeleton set up, the game can just end. Like, if he gets skeleton set up, he starts hitting the throne, people have to walk towards him and approach him. And then that's when your Barrier gets a lasso and your Bane gets a grip, and the game will end in like 5-6 seconds.
So do you feel like it's more the call that he feels like he needs to... Oh, hold on, they're jumping him right now. The Dispose is back, the lasso's out onto Q,
Wait,
but doesn't get him
Ratio?
out of the clinks. He's getting very low right now. Can they get this Rapier off him? He is going to die. Rapier, who does it belong to? I don't know, but Ollie's dead as well. Lauren over the middle of everything right now. He's got the Rapier, he turns it to magic, but it doesn't do a thing. Now on the deck, they'll move forwards for the bristle back that he's already TP'd himself out. 3 heroes down the side of Aurora. 2 of them have the buyback. Ratio's already used his, as has Ace. Buyback's getting very interesting now. Leshrac just going to get that cooldown off immediately. Q likely going to do the same thing. There will not be a buyback available from the Nature's Prophet, and they know that on the side of Gaming Gladiators. Now a 4 versus 5 as Aurora attempt to defend their Ancient. Or maybe
There is
Gaming
no
Gladiators go
glyph right
bottom.
now for Aurora for 90 seconds. So I think if Gaming does get onto this Ancient with the Clinks, it's too hard with like this Tarbomb multi-shot.
Yeah.
So Aurora basically need to jump them outside the base, or like on this tier 3 is like where they basically need to jump, and they have no buybacks outside of the Marcy, who's the one who's dead. So it's not even like they can have someone just bait the fight for them.
Yeah.
All of them just either don't have it. Ping will have it actually. It's
Pack will
7,
have it.
so
Yeah, 5 seconds.
Dire's bottom barracks.
if Aurora don't lose the game right now, I think they feel okay.
Honestly, yeah, like they saw that they can kill the Clinks, and that's a pretty big deal.
Yep. And he doesn't have buy. So now next time if this
Yeah.
Clinks does die and gives away this Rapier, it's good on Bristle or Lesh, especially now that there's like a magic damage Rapier. I think Bristle's it's better on him overall because he gets to use damage and like spell damage, like he could do either. And there's also Marcy. I actually think a world where Q gets it on this Marcy can be crazy. It'll basically just make him just burst any hero instantly with his ult.
Like, he is the one who can get his damage off the easiest on a single target. And for Rapier, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's kind of the ease of use of it. Anytime it's been easy to use the item, it has been really strong. Like, I actually think back to when it had True Strike.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
It felt really easy to use.
I love it.
Because you get to hit every single time, and it's pretty much guaranteed to just get your damage out with the Rapier. And so I would say in a similar vein, yeah, this Marcy, it's 6 hits pretty much instantly with your Rapier, and that's just an absurd amount of damage that comes out.
It is
Roshan is
interesting
up.
as well, watching Dracho try and just deal damage into the Bristleback when they jump him, and it's still not enough. Like, it's definitely not the same, but a little bit reminiscent of a Martimber from yesterday.
Yeah, these like just tanky heroes are pretty crazy right now.
They are.
So this is the big Roche fight. If whichever team wins this Roche fight is going to be in a really good position. I think if Gaming wins this, they can just look to end the game. Whereas if Aurora, they'll probably need one more fight if they win this, just to secure the win. Lanes are really good for them, so they have time. Question is, how does this initiation start?
Yeah, 23 is kind of happy to just play around the pit, get those quills stacked up, and get the goo stacked up on him as well. Also using the chakrams to help him deal more. He's happy. He's like, yeah, sure, chakram me.
Yeah.
This is more damage for me. Quinn, though, going in deep. Jabs around the back lines. I mean, he's starting to fight somewhat, but of course, got to be careful. Clinks might just killed him. My God.
All right.
He's buying back into this one, but it's going to take him a while to get back into this
23's
fight.
half health.
He is, and he's getting lower as in comes the Timber Sword. They're taking him down. Duracho with the damage. Oh my god, he's tearing through everyone right now. Him and Quinn, they've killed off Roshan. They've killed off every single hero on the side of Aurora. Loranov stuck inside the grip. He's going to fall as well. Way too much coming out from the Clinks. No control from the side of Aurora. And now he's got an Aegis. So, yeah, good luck.
I don't think they were expecting the Jabsters die like that, but I feel like it's kind of been happening every fight.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, you have to realize that you can't just roll in for free at the start of every fight. And you have to play it a little slower. And now, with Loranov dead for 90 seconds, it's going to be really hard, I think, for Aurora to hold this. Especially now with Klink's Aegis. Sets up the skeletons, goes in there, starts hitting the throne, and what really big choice is there to make? Like, you can't walk through them with this rapier damage.
I think it's just over, to be honest.
And he has an axe now as well.
The ancient, like, fortification is available. It's going to be used, but yeah, they're not jumping this guy. They're not stopping this guy. They're not. There's doing
3 more
this.
seconds.
Grip's out as well. Ancient getting low. Grip's going to be there. Kill on to 23 Savage. Game number 1. It goes to Gaming Gladiators. It takes them 52 minutes.
Zone a Slark with phase boots. You go like 2. You go 0-2, no points in Gush, and then you just keep going on the Slark. And then once he hits like level 4-5, you just cut. And it is going to be an offlane Nature's Prophet. We didn't really mention that yet. And a pause 5 bat, which I like more to have a pause 5 bat than a Furon, because I don't think Furon would actually do damage to the Tide, like when he's cutting or in the lane. But a level 3 bat can actually just do a lot of damage with the Firefly.
Oh, it's going to be a fight here. Tofu's going to be the target straight away. Jab's TPing in as well. Way too much damage for Tofu to handle. He's going to go down. Now their attention towards Ace instead on the Tide Hunter. Tide desperately trying to finish off Q, but that's not going to happen. They'll bring him down as well. The Deny comes out from Jabs on the sidelines. Q, he's gone. Duraccio falls as well. 23 has fallen also. And everybody's out of mana. Everybody's out of health. Everybody's out of spells. But it is an absolute bloodbath for the First Blood. 4 heroes die.
23 has 3
5,
stacks
actually.
of permanent agility. This guy just has the slippers.
Is a first for me.
That was, I don't know, walking high ground into a Tusk level 1. It seems like such a big risk, I think. Even like Slark ends up, if you don't kill him fast enough in these level 1 traits, he gets so many stacks just early that he does so much damage.
And the deny from Jabs just really leaning things in Aurora's favor. Like, that's insane. Wow.
So Loranov is going to enter the lane with a bottle. Very nice.
Okay. Yeah, that's really nice.
And then Ollie also just has a really good game. He just has 6 tangos, has a salve, has stick, has boots almost finished. So pretty much everyone for Aurora is going to enter these lanes in a really good position.
Yep. 3 agility on the Slark, 66 damage to start things off with, plus a Quelling Blade. That's going to help you CS versus the Tide Hunter pretty nicely.
The nice thing for gaming, at least, is Quinn did get a last hit on a kill. So he's entering the lane with pretty much more net worth than the Zeus. It's kind of fake, and that's because of the fact that Zeus walked base and TP to the lane, so he's negative 100 net worth, technically. But
I see. Yeah, teleport cost, which he's likely not going to need to rebuy.
Yeah, so like their net worths are pretty much the same. And also Zeus gets stats with his gold, whereas or Sniper gets stats with his gold, whereas Zeus gets a bottle. So like to some extent the Sniper gets more.
He just heavenly jumped under tower to get an eye against Quinn. I ain't ever
You're trying to stop him from CSing.
Yeah.
I think the big lane this game is top. I think if top goes really heavy in Aurora's favor, especially with how this First Blood went, I think the Slark can just run havoc on the map. Mid should be pretty boring. I think both of the heroes are going to farm. Quinn's going to farm more just because Sniper ends up slightly winning this matchup.
They're moving on to Ace here, but 23 has taken a lot of damage during this, and his wand's going to get popped, so he has to back away. Ollie taken down, but still trying to stay on top of Ace here. Ace doesn't have any healing left, but likely won't fall. Oh no, Jabs is coming in. He wants to finish the job. Hello, friend. Gets 1 kill. Looks over towards Tofu. Won't be finding the second. He's got the TP to get back to bottom lane as they've immediately got aggressively onto Q. Q, well, he's going to go down here. He's got a stick, but that's not going to save him. No spells available for him. The deny, not going to come in time. Jabs almost pulled it off again.
That, I think if Tofu just chased Nature's Prophet, he might have actually canceled his TP with the glimpse. Which could have been so bad, because I think slightly in his mind, it's like, oh, it's a support Nature's Prophet. Like, it's not that worth to just like use all my mana and like leave the lane for 10 seconds just to stop his TP. But that was a core.
Yeah, that would have been
interesting.
useful.
I think this, I talked about Nature's Prophet core doesn't really want to make these moves, but if they're successful and you're able to just get back in the lane really fast, they feel fine.
Yeah.
Especially when you get a quick kill on a core. Like, he kills the Tidehunter, so it doesn't feel that bad. And this lane is pretty much constantly going to be pushing in one direction or the other. Like, Bristle will push it in, or him and the Tusk are just going to be able to hit the creeps for free, shove it into the Bristle, so almost never going to be missing too much. And yeah, I think pretty much all the action will be top. I think mid should be boring. Bot can be like a random kill here or there because of just Veno being Veno and just getting a Gale. But especially with how it seems like Jabs wants to play with TP's top, that's going to be the big lane of like action. Quinn is just having fun mid. He walks
really
up
is.
onto the high ground and then he just stands still because he knows Lorinov can't just like walk up and trade with him.
And just like last game, you know, Lorinov at the moment still doing absolutely fine at mid, despite kind of being bullied out by Quinn. He's able to secure himself like some CS. Admittedly, the denies are quite high for Quinn, but
yeah, this matchup is, it's like fine for Zeus. Like, it's one of the matchups that doesn't get crushed by Sniper, but it's still also Sniper is really happy in this matchup because he's one of the heroes that can CS and deny versus the Zeus, because he has like decent damage, he has really good attack speed, so he can actually like beat the Zeus Q in terms of like denying. And top lane, another TP from Jabs.
yeah, he's coming in, trying to get the kill here. Tofu getting very low. He's going to try and finish off on the Batrider whilst 23 and Jabs go for the big kill onto Ace. Ace, though, he's going to be able to walk himself away, but Ollie will finish the job onto Tofu, so maybe not the most valuable TP across from Jabs there.
Jabs might get dove. No, Q TP to the 2-2. Good TP by him.
Yeah.
Jirachi,
Now trees plus. Ooh,
he's stuck in tower range
as well. I mean, yeah, this is damage. This is excellent damage. They're going to bring him down. Right clicks are in. Great moves there. Area denial from Jabs and Q. Punish the overextension of Jirachi there.
All right, Jabs is owning. He's cooking right now.
He's doing work.
That was a Sprout, and then the Sprout basically bought enough time for the Ice Shards, and like the Ice Shards was perfect range. It was just at the very edge of the tower aggro range, so Bristle was actually taking tower. I think if he wasn't taking tower, there's no way they kill him. He would have gotten like an extra close spray or two off, and he would have probably even maybe taken out the Nature's Prophet because he was so low. But yeah, things looking a lot better this game for them so far.
I was worried when they overlapped the Sprout and the Quills, and the Shards, but absolutely the right play. I mean, there's a Quelling Blade available on the Bristles, so he was about to break out of those trees regardless.
Lorinov is actually getting kind of destroyed in terms of XP at least. Even the gold, he's behind 500 gold, but he's half a level behind on the Sniper. Jabs TP top again.
Here we go.
Ace
Ace going to be that target. This time they want to bring down that Watermelon, and they certainly will. 23 comes in with a right click. Jabs this time, though, he doesn't have a TP immediately available. So,
yeah,
awkward walk home for him.
His core doesn't even have one either, so Q's happy. He'll get a double wave of XP under tower.
True. If he can get past Draccio, that is. Yeah, Draccio lets him past.
It's so, I don't know how to feel about this from like Jabs. Like, I guess he's getting the kill, so it ends up being really nice, but it always just, it looks weird. You know, it's one of those things that just looks
really
weird to just give up your lane. But effectively what's happening is the XP is not being lost and the gold's not being lost, right? Like, Q's still getting these waves when it pushes in. So in terms of the team as a whole, the team's still getting the same amount of XP and gold, which is why this ends up being fine. Like, it's not like they're actively losing XP by not getting
top lane. They're going on to 23 here with the rotation in from Quinn. They are going to be able to bring him down, but the ultimate from Lorinov cuts down Ace once again. So there's a trade, but one which favors GAIMIN for sure. Slark dying was very important to them.
Yep. But the nice thing is that Zeus does get a kill. So solo XP for him. Like, anytime Zeus gets kills with his ults early game, it just feels really, really good. Because he could be winning his lane or losing his lane, but he just keeps getting these like random injections of gold every 2 minutes. And that's really how the Zeus like scales on this hero. And the big
Especially
thing
that he didn't have to share the XP on that one as well.
yeah, because the Slark died, so
Yeah.
shout out to Slark.
Radiant are scanning.
And Zeus right now is pretty much you get Phylactery, and then you basically try to tell your team to fight around you. Because if you get, 2-3 rounds of spells off, you kill any hero the second you get your Phylactery. So the faster you get it, the stronger you are.
Yeah, he's heading for a very good timing right now.
Radiant
Arcane
bottom
spamming
tower
out lane,
is under
running
attack.
over towards the jungle. That's all he wants to do. Maybe secure a power rune here, but they're not putting a ton of pressure. Q, nah, not heading over. I mean, it's a sniper, so it's not really like a big contention over this power rune. Sure, Quinn did use the last arcane rune to rotate top, but
Quinn is
that's kind of
actually
unusual.
smoking top, but I think 23 is reading this, and he's going to gate bot, and they're going to dive the bristle back at the same time. Which is a really, really good call. Anytime you dodge these smokes,
Yeah, Ollie's
Tofu, or
kinda-
Ollie does not dodge it, unfortunately.
No, although Lorinov is in, but hesitating on really going for this properly. But Duraccio has gone down in the bottom side thanks to that rotation from the portal from the Slark. So, yeah, very, very good trade there from Aurora, and very heads-up read there from 23.
When you make these reads on carry, where you basically take the gate, you dodge the smoking, and you get a kill, that's the biggest impact you can do as a carry, I would say, in the first 10 minutes. Because if he dies there, maybe his tower gets pressured, maybe he has to TP, people have to rotate all the way top just to not lose this tower so early. But now, instead of being a liability for the team, you are helping the team, right? You're creating pressure as a carry.
Yeah, it's huge. This is something which I first saw Yotoro doing on Luna when he'd have a really good game. Instead of going for passives, he'd just go for the actives and then just eclipse the enemy carry in the bottom side.
Yep.
And now that's sort of grown and grown over time. And we're at the point where
Dire's bottom tower is
if you can do it, you will do it. You'll see it happening. And
Lorinov.
yeah, he's just running
Q is
away,
dead.
under attack.
letting Q tank it for him. Although he's going to do a decent amount of damage. Could
Wait.
allow Lorinov to come in and just sneak the kill. Yeah, now actually Jabs is coming across as well.
He messed
Hold
up the
on.
calling.
They're keeping Q alive, and Quinn, he got the wrong tree. He's struggling to get down to the low ground. Lorinov, though, he's out of mana to finish the job. Arcane's come through, but Quinn's not close enough anymore. And Celery is just laying down the Plague Wards to make it very awkward for Aurora to chase this any further than they have. But still, nice little turnaround from them.
I mean, Aurora keeps outnumbering them, which I think is usually gaming's bread and butter. In the first game, they kept outnumbering Aurora. In the early game, they would bring 4 or 5 heroes every time. But I think especially with the Nature's Prophet core, it's enabling these supports to leave him as a core, to solo in the lane, and then they still bring them the numbers to the fights. So Aurora's in a really good position in this game because they have this Slark who I think normally has a really bad early game. The biggest thing with Slark is his laning is really terrible. And so the fact that they're getting out of the lanes with him basically top net worth on his team
Is under
is
attack.
a really good sign for Aurora.
Definitely. And, seeing what went wrong last game, building on that, and then correcting it so quickly is a great sign for a team like this as well. It's exactly what you want to see from a team in their position. Middle of the pack in their group. How are they going to improve enough to be a threat in the group state, in the playoffs, sorry? Well, adapting and improving is exactly that. So shout out to whoever's making these calls, and most likely the coach,
Dire are scanning.
son as well.
Ancients are getting stacked by both teams.
Yeah, Ollie did
So-
make a double stack in the jungle as well, so very, very efficient right now. Although Quinn's coming in.
Middle
Another
tower
smoke.
Sniper, dude.
Quinn is
Just-
just getting used so much on the map.
He is.
Just smoking, running around, which is very surprising for Sniper. Usually you think of this hero as AFK mid for 15 minutes just farming, and then goes to your tri-camp shrapnels or ancients. Falling though, going on Duraccio. They have the snowball.
Yep, they might just take him down here. Duraccio taken on down once again, a little too deep.
I think he was
Lorinov
buying his point booster.
dominating.
Dire's structures
Ah,
are
that old
fortified.
chestnut.
That'll get you. But yeah, Duraccio now has 4 deaths. He's 1 and 4.
That's crazy on a bristleback. I mean, he has kind of been left alone down here at bottom, but also, Celery's been moving around the map a lot,
Dire's
making plays, and
is under attack.
at the same time, yeah, very surprising is that they've managed to find the disruptor now as well. Aurora kills across the map. They don't feel safe anywhere on GAIMIN.
They see the ancient stack. They might tell Lorinov to walk over, but it's a sketchy
It's
thing
dodgy,
to
isn't it?
contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scanning.
the Tidehunter is kind of close. He has Ravage. The Sniper is always going to be close to that. So it's one of those things that's like you think about it, like, I really do want to take this away because they have Bristle and Tide, both of them need Ancients, but it's always better to not die contesting them and just kind of push in the map knowing that they have to farm it. Like now Jabs gets to push in bot for free, 23 gets to push in top for free, and just, you know, play a little slower and not die, then contest this and die.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, Dracho coming and going to use this as a bit of recovery gold though. Or I just won't be contesting, so.
Yeah, he's going to finish his Ag soon, which is a pretty big timing for Bristol. As we saw in the first game, 23 was getting a lot of work done once he finished his Ags. So we'll see if Duracho is able to get that work done. Because even though he does have a lot of debts, his net worth is not bad.
It's good. Yeah, when he finished his Ancients cap, he's going to be like tied with the Slark.
Yeah, he's effectively, I think what's happening is he's constantly running at, like he's shoving the lane in and being really aggressive, which ends up meaning that he still gets all the gold from the creeps. He just dies. So much better to die that way than sitting under your tower, not getting anything dove, and then kind of feeding.
For sure. Now he's going to stay quiet for a little bit, try and find this Aghanim's timing, and then see if they can maybe get a smoke up with it or catch Aurora off guard. Meanwhile, we did see a death on Celery, but Venomance going down like that isn't a big deal.
Tidehunter is going to finish his Blink. I think they'll probably look to make a move either in the 14 power runes, because Zeus always really wants to get them. They're all super good on him. Or they'll look to do them at 15. I think is their big choices.
There goes.
Yeah, all he does have a blink.
They might just find it. Flame Lasso comes down onto Quinn, dragging him down to the low ground. He's got no counterplay here. Lorinov will bring him down. The blink reveal on Ollie is perfect. I mean, 14-minute blink on a support on a +5 Batrider is not something you're going to be prepared for.
Yeah, I mean, Ollie's been having a really good game as well. And Batrider is, it feels like such a strong support because you get to farm so much. You stack for yourself. You get to farm Ancients. You get to farm large camps just like for free. Multiple camps at the same time, so you always get this blink dagger timing like so consistent. I would say it's like almost always like 14, 15, 16, even in a bad game. And yeah, just a really big kill on Quinn that they get.
Meanwhile, Q, you know, he's not quite doing as well on the +4 task. You do want to see that blink dagger, but Ollie obviously doing a lot with his as they now move forward onto the Tusk. Tusk in a bit of trouble here, but 23 comes in around the backlines, moves onto Quinn. Quinn's just dead again. It's back-to-back deaths for the sniper, but now Duracho comes in with that Aghanim Scepter trying to blow up a hero. Q's going to be that target. He will likely fall here. Final Quills will finish the job. Tofu's got to be a little bit careful as Zeus blasts over the sidelines, but the blink tide with the Ravage onto the Lorinov of the backlines. There's no follow-up though, so Lorinov's just kind of running away.
There's a glimpse of one.
Is chasing, but look at the damage coming through onto Duracho. 23 is not out of this fight just yet. Lorinov will go down, but Duracho falls as well. 23 kind of just wants to leave at this point. He's got the Plague upon him, but now it runs out. He can look to turn back around onto Ace, but without a Dart Pack to work with, he's got to be a little bit careful. Does obviously have it back very, very shortly, but couldn't take off that Anchor Smash, couldn't do the damage.
They might look to poke again. Jabs is fully healed up. Ollie's still here with Lasso.
18 bonus action on the start right now. He's looking to keep it going, and he's going to just commit the pounce, and that'll be enough to lock down Celery and get them that kill. Q is chasing, but might not be finding. Tofu running through the trees. Q's looking for him, but probably overextending a little bit now at this point. No chance of bringing this guy down as Jabs should die. Duracho's going to grab that one, so a little bit of a over-response here from Aurora, I would say.
Yeah, a little back and forth, but I'd say bigger kills for gaming because they got 2 big streaks. They got a 5 streak from Jabs. They got a 6 streak from Lorinov. So a lot more golden XP going into their pocket, but Aurora is able to make these moves and kind of kill the sniper again. And we kind of saw that sniper needs to have a good game to some extent to do damage. I know when he does this thing where he delays the game and is really annoying, but I also think just the way that the Tusk was able to survive for so long, was there no kinetic field at that point? I think on Tofu, because I think at level 6 he had 0 points in it. And I think just the fact that Tusk was able to get all his spells off, they were turning on the sniper, it just wasn't as clean. Now top lane.
Celery dead on the top side. But Lorinov, bigger kill, dies in the middle lane. Well, that's huge.
I think he just got
back-to-back deaths, just like Quinn, both mid laners. Getting chain killed at the moment.
Dire's middle
I mean, it's
tower
these blink
is under
daggers just
attack.
against these kind of backline, high damage, but high fragility mids. They're always going to be the target. They're always going to suffer when you hit these blink timings.
Yeah, it was pretty much just Tide blinking melee on him, and then he just gets glimpsed into a... He doesn't even get glimpsed, they just walk at him. It's a pretty hard game for Zeus to position. I think if the game goes later, he'll get this Manta, he'll get Octarine, and then probably just a BKB. I think it's too hard to
On
play.
this ward. They're setting up on Duraccio, and they might just get it here. 23 is here. Lasso is up. He's going to turn the boy around and just allow them to blow up Duraccio. Lorenov's going to commit the Thunder Gods just to finish off the kill and give them a nice little bit of vision on who's in the neighborhood. They'll see there's a lot of gaming heroes around, but they weren't.
Yeah, the bad news is though is Gaming also TP'd all their heroes to like respond to this. So now they're stuck here as 4, and Aurora get the choice, right? They get to choose to just spam run at Gaming and just force a fight right now, or they get to choose to split up and farm. And right now it looks like they're going to take 3
is
kills.
Going absolutely crazy this game. Just runs up the high ground into all these heroes, knowing that he's going to be absolutely fine. I mean, he's now sitting with a ridiculous amount of agi. This guy's hitting for almost 200 damage. He's got a BKB out of his pocket. What the hell? 23 damage, ripping through Gaming Gladiators right now. Moves over towards Ace. Ace, what can you do? The answer is nothing. He's just tearing through all of them. This is absolutely insane. 42 bonus agi, 13 permanent agi on top of that as well. Oh my god.
He's so strong. I mean, it's the BKB. That's why he runs at the Disruptor. Usually when Slark's running at Disruptor, it doesn't feel that comfortable, because at any point Disruptor can ult turn and then the sniper will just like start smacking him, and they follow up with a Ravage on the silence and maybe he just goes down. But he basically uses this BKB timing to force out just a dead Disruptor, and they just keep chasing back-to-back kills. I really like the pressure that Aurora's applying, and I hope that they can keep kind of like running at the Gaming heroes and they don't really let up this pressure.
I mean, you can see their itemization. It's all kind of backing up that idea. It's a very cohesive game plan from Aurora. You've got this Gleipnir now on the Nature's Prophet to allow him keeping the pressure in. Obviously, Zeus is just going for Phylactery and Manta. There's no change in his build, but that's going to allow them to shove out waves, which allows you to be more free on the map. It means you get more information. You can be more aggressive if your waves are shoved in without having to commit a hero to do it. So,
yep.
2 Blink Dagger supports as well.
I mean, Mantas are just a really good item in Dota, I would say, especially right now, but just in general. Anytime you can shove out lanes giving no info, it's why Zoo heroes used to be so broken, and like Necronomicons and stuff like that are always just in the back of every meta, and it's purely because it pushes out creeps and you don't have to show your hero.
It's very interesting from Aurora. They've made the incorrect read here that someone's going to go show and shot top wave. Maybe they thought that GAIMIN thought they were doing Roche, so would want to play on this top side of the map, but GAIMIN are actually just 4 heroes holding hands in the mid lane. That's the kind of position they've been forced into this game.
Yeah, and the nice thing for Gaming is it is day, and so Aurora's heroes are really strong at night, specifically due to Slark. And Gaming do have the sniper night vision, so it's technically both teams have a night vision hero, but Slark is definitely significantly better at this nighttime hunting than Sniper is. And it looks like they're going to try to steal the Tormentor.
Ambitious, but works out.
Pretty risky. It's going to work.
Whoop. Yeah. Cost them though. I mean, it's a lot of health down the drain. So they're going to have to TP out and leave this area of the map, and they don't get the Wisdom Rune because of that. Maybe if they'd waited a little bit longer, then they could have got the Wisdom Rune as well, but then you're looking at a full fight.
I've seen way too many just kind of throws at this like Wisdom Rune trying to aggressively take it early. I think it's definitely the safer thing to... You take the Tormentor, you get a win. Right. Like every time you get a win in Dota, especially right now, just with how comebacks are and high grounds are, it's like you take your win and then you're just like, okay guys, we're good. Like don't chase further, don't keep running in, don't try to get everything, because when you overextend, that's how you throw games. So they take their win, they get the Tormentor, they're happy.
They certainly are. The only issue I'm seeing potentially for Aurora is that their Roshan is pretty awful. So
yeah, they do have Tusk, which kind of is really helpful at turning bad Roche traps into acceptable Roche traps. Even like this Tormentor, right? I don't know if they could do it that easily without the Tusk, but because of the Tusk, they get it. They get 2 Tormentors pretty much back to back, and they don't want to Roche, I would say. Like, they don't want to just bring 5 heroes there and just hit Roche for 20, 30 seconds. They want to just keep getting kills everywhere around the map.
Yeah, it has been a little bit quiet as they kind of get both Tormentors and set up, but they're about to hit some really big timings again. I mean, Slark, he's looking for his Aghanim Scepter. He's going to have it in under a minute, I would say. And that's going to be an issue. It's funny, isn't it? Like in the draft, I was like, oh yeah, Slark needs an Ags. And you were like, oh, I think it needs a BKB. And he goes literally Diffusal, BKB, Ags. Like, no hesitation.
And he's gonna have it really early, like probably much earlier than, you know, you're expecting just seeing a Slark.
Definitely. I mean,
I do appreciate how Aurora's playing the map when it turns to day. They play it a lot slower and just like playing more off the map and shoving the lanes in and farming rather than just constantly running at enemy heroes. And the second it switches to night, they're back to killing heroes.
Yes, sir. Top side. They try to grab one, but the TP out is there in time, so we'll be lacking. Scratcho, Celery, and Quinn. That's probably not going to work out for you, my friend. Snowball comes out. Blink Dagger will be available. Gotta spam that shit. Ah, doesn't pay off. He goes down.
And they find Lorinov. He has no Manta.
Ooh.
23 goes in to try to protect him.
All right, I'll get the kill onto Tofu, and 23 is starting to tear through Dyrachyo as well. Dyrachyo does not have the bristleback any longer, but 23 is not particularly healthy either, but there's a lasso coming on through, allows 23 to get over to that soft, squishy belly and bring him down. It's so close, but he gets a kill.
1v3.
Whoa, he's just going in onto Quinn, and he takes him down. This sniper is just not getting to stand and hit this game. Dyrachyo last game on the click.
23's coming.
23 is going to cancel one TP. Stops Ace from getting out of here. They can turn around. They can deal with him. Aurora, they've got their boxing gloves on and they're just punching away at GAIMIN.
That was... I mean, GAIMIN kind of just forced a fight onto them, I think. They take the Tusk kill, but then they keep walking forward and trying to find the Zeus is pretty much what happened, right? Like the Disruptor goes in, he presses spells on Zeus, and then the Slark's just close enough that he just counter engages, and it feels like Tofu can't really click his ult because he wants to hold it for either a catch on Zeus or a Slark post BKB. And he's not really able to get either in all of these fights because the Slark's just constantly forcing him to basically drop it in a bad way. And I think even to some extent, it's probably worth just dropping the ult to force an early Slark BKB. But it's not really happening. It feels like Tofu's just kind of dying for free. And as we see, Disruptor in these games where you start to fall really far behind just doesn't really have any impact in fights.
Yeah, he's always a hero which wants to play from ahead. Glimpse is so good. Like, sure, you know, the Shard with Kinetic Field, Thunderstrike, sorry, is quite nice at just kind of poking and prodding, but there's not a whole lot of poking and prodding going on, I'll be honest. These fights are pretty decisive. The moment Aurora shows, like, there's 4 heroes jumping on you and someone else jumping on Quinn.
Yep. And it's nighttime again, so it's Aurora's time to hunt.
Yeah.
GAIMIN is kind of around this Roche pit top. I think they probably are feeling that they need to sneak a Roche or either prevent Aurora from Roshing or sneak it themselves with like this Bristle and Sniper, because they can do it pretty easily on GAIMIN. But it looks like Aurora's going to smoke up and try to take this Roche fight themselves.
Into the pit they shall go. Aurora, are they? Yeah, they're very much aware heading over, but it is going to be quick. Quinn, though, not willing to sit in the pit. Okay, that's going to slow down. Whoa, 23 just jumping in from the sidelines. I didn't even see him coming. No, he's immediately onto Quinn. Look at this aggression. The rest of the team coming on across here, trying to help out. Lasso out onto the sniper. They'll bring him down. Quinn is dead. 23 just tearing through everyone right now, but he's got a ton of debuffs onto him, and he does get caught out by the Ravage on the sideline. Dyrachyo might be able to finish him off here. The right clicks coming through. No pounce available. 23 Savage is going to fall to Dyrachyo, but on the rest of the fight, Lorinov is just cleaning up right now, and he's looking towards Dyrachyo as well. Can he keep his distance? I mean, he's got the heavily jump available, so very unlikely that Dyrachyo is going to be able to survive through this one. They should be able to keep their distance. Those Celeries come back in and, well, just straight up dead.
Will they be able to find him? Jabs is maybe going to catch.
Yeah, Jabs just TPs into his face. Quelling immediately comes out. He's going to have the Gleipnir available in 2 seconds. Should likely hold him still here on the bridge. He's going to keep on trying to heal up with all these quills. And here we go. Q jumps in with the stun. I think Q might just be dead. Yep. Dies to Bristle Clap. And Jabs is piecing out of that one. TP out from him. Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Bristleback, huh? What a hero.
Indeed.
I mean,
When's
not
that patch
the,
coming, by the way? 10
not the
minutes
worst
ago, I
fight?
think Aurora hoping.
yeah, not the worst fight for gaming. They actually end up taking out the Slark, and Dyrachyo doesn't die, but Quinn's having a really hard game, I think, and he's not really able to find angles and to like do damage. Slark's pretty much just going on him, and he's just existing in pain. And it's kind of a question of, in the first game, I think he's in a position where Dyrachyo was, right? Where he was Clinks, and he was constantly getting gone on by the Marcy and the Pango, and he wasn't really able to do his damage. And in that game, they started winning when he was able to get damage done. But the question is, like, is he actually... He doesn't have the mobility or invis of the Clinks. So it's like, when or how does he actually enter the fight and do damage? And I don't really see the angle for him to do that. Like, even with this BKB, I think Aurora's just going to commit on him. They have Punch from Tusk, they have Lasso from Bad, and Slark doesn't really care BKB that much because you're so fast. And this might be another, 60-minute angle for a sniper team again.
Oh, God.
Well, you don't enjoy 60-minute games?
I mean, I love 60-minute games. It's just, it's getting there, which is the problem sometimes. But this game has definitely been very, very brawly so far.
I just
feel bad for production here, the Ember stream, because we've had a over 60-minute game every day so far.
That's the joy of Dota right now. Fun patch. I mean, do you enjoy? I think
I do.
like 40 minutes is the sweet spot. I think if games are around 40 minutes, it's like perfect. Hour is fun when it's like an occasional game, but right now it feels like almost every other best of two has a 60-minute game. It's like a 1 in 4 chance that you just have a 60-minute game, and it's...
I think a sniper 60-minute game is always a bit like...
That too. It's a little boring.
It's a bit cringe.
Ollie forces out the BKB bot, but nothing really too bad. And 23 might actually find Quinn. He will walk through the Watcher, though, so Quinn sees him. Gonna dodge.
Yep. Still forcing Quinn over to a weird part of the map. Feeling the pressure as always.
Wait, 20?
It's another Ogre Seal Totem Sniper as well, by the way. Just really feeling like he needs the escape. And look at 23! He just wants this guy right now, but not willing to jump under the tier 2 tower, but crazy pressure. Yeah. Quiz time without checking. So don't check Slark. Don't look at Slark. How many assists do you think that 23 has in this game?
Assists.
Yeah.
Is it a 23 joke?
It's not yet. But it's very close. He's got 20 assists.
20 assists.
Slark. Only 4 kills, which is kind of crazy considering.
Sad, yeah. Lorna, I mean,
17
you have a
stacks
Zeus.
of permanent agi.
You have a Zeus, right? Zeus is gonna just take probably like 6 or 7 kills just with ult throughout the game.
Yeah.
Feels bad as a carry. Feels good as a Zeus.
Yeah. Zeus tax is kind of overwhelming.
And Lorinov is about to finish his Refresher Orb, which is just such like a high amount of damage in these fights. Like 2 ults, especially with Zeus ult just does 10% max HP damage.
Yeah.
Like, built in.
Pretty
And then it also does 550 damage. Like, this spell is so crazy right now that if you think about it, what if I told you it's like with 2 ults, you could do 1100 magic damage and 20% max health on every single hero on the enemy team. It's like such a crazy number that, especially with the vision it gives, right? Like, it gives vision for Slark to do anything he wants in the fight. Like, he gets to see Sniper, he gets to see the supports, he gets to do like, oh guys, I'm chilling. I can turn my brain off and just jump everything because I see everything. So Aurora's in a really good spot. And so, yeah, they're instantly going to smoke. They're going to look for a jump on pretty much anything. And gaming is just losing gold pretty much every minute. I think they're losing like about 1,000 net worth. And it's just because they have to be 5 heroes. You can't split up versus Bat or Slark. And you see everything they do is just 5 men.
line.
It's just so funny. They're just 5 heroes conga lining. And oof, they just barely missed the sniper catch, but they're not going to miss the celery catch.
Yeah, it's a consolation prize. Certainly not what they were hoping for with this move, but they do secure the Roshan area, which I imagine is going to be a consideration now. When it respawns in a long time, because Slark already has an Aegis.
There is an Aegis.
Just kidding, guys.
So unfortunately, no Roche control needed.
Big prank. Yeah, you see GAIMIN just running to the other side of the map straight away.
Yeah, GAIMIN's just playing dodge. Like, where you see the Slark, you have to run away. And you have to be together. Which is not that fun of a gameplay to just never be able to fight them, but it's kind of what they're stuck doing. And so, delay the game is their name. And, you know, delay for Sniper, maybe he gets like 5 items. Bristleback eventually will be really strong. It's usually this Wind Waker timing, I would say, is the really big one for Bristles I've seen recently, is that they get this Wind Waker and then they feel really strong. And I think it's because they get to survive this like initial burst, press their Bloodstone, and like get to kite out the fight in the slows and stuff. Like in this game, for example, he'll get to dodge Ice Shards with it, Sprout, and a Pounce. Like there's a lot of good like lockdown spells that he gets to kite with it. And it's basically a question of will he actually get there before Aurora just pretty much ends the game.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming the question, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing though, like we said it before, there's a Sniper in the game. The push from Aurora isn't very free. You don't have that ranged carry that can just kind of hit up the high ground. So yeah, I'm guessing he will, honestly. I don't see them ending the game with this Aegis. I mean, it's only got 10 seconds left.
Aurora doesn't really push that well. They just run around and get kills. So it is setting up for a longer game. As one team has no high ground push, that's easy, and the other team has really annoying high ground defense. So exciting stuff. You know me, I'm excited for this one. And thankfully for Aurora though, they scale. Like all of their heroes scale really well. The Batrider, you know, both of their subs, I would say, are just good heroes at getting items. Like Batrider farms really fast and obviously scales really well. Even Tusk, once he gets his Blink Ags, you know, we talked about it earlier, is just good for everything, right? You can kick the Tide away, you can kick the Bristle away, kick the Sniper in. So Aurora doesn't feel bad about delaying the game. And at the same time, Duraccio bot lane.
Hold on, jump in the middle lane. Duraccio just going to turn around, use the Bristleback, keep himself nice and safe. Still got the Ravage to work with. Aurora know that they're being a little bit cautious. 2 heroes still under the cover of smoke as well.
That was funny. I think he healed so much from like Bloodstone that his regen literally ended while he was getting gone on. Because like usually these days you pop a regen and you just keep like healing throughout a whole fight. Like you're slowly healing from regen room, but literally too strong of a hero that the regen doesn't work. Top lane, jabs.
Whoa, jabs. That's a hell of a TP right into their faces, and he gets a get out of jail free card from the glimpse as well. Not sure he wants it though, as the aggression is coming. Q chasing down Quinn right now. He's got the punch available, holding it for the time being. Will now throw it down as 23's on top of him. Trying to chase, but here comes a Ravage. He doesn't have the dart pack available. 23 can finally be in control, but no, he gets off the Shadow Dance in time. But now he needs to leave. BKB TP out in the tree line, and he is going to make it out. Slark survives narrowly with his life. It's a bit of a messy go.
Yeah, they do have a lot of kind of AoE control to some extent. Like they have Ravage, they have the Kinetic Field, which is pretty good versus Slark, to be honest. And even the Bristleback, a lot of his damage goes through the Slark ult. So they have tools to deal with him. It's one of those things that's like, guys, if we weren't down 22,000 gold, this game would be fine. So it's kind of a... GAIMIN has the tools to fight. It's basically just a question of, I think the biggest thing is if Quinn is able to position himself in the fight, and if Tofu is able to survive long enough that he gets to press his ult on the Slark post BKB. I think if those two things happen, GAIMIN have a chance in these fights. That's like basically the big 2 things that need to happen.
And that's kind of the thing where Quinn has felt so pressured this game that, you know, he's been forced to go for the Hurricane Pike, the BKB, even the neutral item is an Ogre Steel Totem. These are all tools to get you away, to get you to safety. Because of that, it doesn't really do the damage right now. Like, sure, Sniper always has that innate damage. Now with the Mjolnir, he's going to start to pop a bit. Throw in an MKB on top of that, and suddenly this Slark can die in a Ravage. And that does feel like it's going to be a kind of turning point for GAIMIN Gladiators if they can pull that off.
Thankfully, though, Aurora does have the Tusk to save. So they still have a lot of these like tools, and you know, we make it seem like, oh, just get your Sniper to live and just have Disrupt to live, but it's hard, right?
Just
like there's a Batrider, there's a Slark, there's Zeus, like all of the Aurora heroes are just going to go on you and do damage and fight you, and GAIMIN doesn't really have the best ways to protect each other outside of a Ravage. And usually on the initiations, you know, there's gonna be BKBs. So it's like Tide can't even protect people from these initiations. And so I think it'll probably end up being on Dyrachyo to like bait the Slark in really deep, and then they kite out a fight where Slark wastes his cooldowns and then they take the fight. I think that's the easiest way for I see that gaming can, you know, win a fight.
So you're able to pull that off. The thing is, there's just more and more problems coming from Aurora at the same time. Now you're going to have the Aghanims on the Tusk to deal with as well. He's just been farming up a storm for himself recently with that shard, the shards. And now, there you go. Aghanim Scepter completed from Q. We talked about the importance of this one. Getting the Bristle out or getting the Sniper in. Those are going to be two really, really critical plays which Q can make in these fights.
Other big items is Jabs is about to finish Nullifier. Zeus has finished his Ags, so he has a lot more magic damage. And I think Batrider just finished a Force Staff, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of big items for Aurora. Gaming is not really hitting any timings, but that's just kind of the nature of the game. It's this Wind Waker is about to be finished by Dyrachyo, which is I was saying is like their one timing I think they can kind of use to fight. But other than that, it's like, okay, let's wait 2,000 more gold for the Quinn Butterfly, right? Like how long do you keep saying like, guys, we need one more item to fight them, and then you look at the enemy team and 5 heroes have gained one item instead of just your team's one. It's like the longer they delay on gaming outside of high ground holding, the worse. Like if they want to take these fights outside of their base, the faster they go, the better. And so they're going to smoke up to try to contest this Roche, which is going to be perfect timing. Like Slark is just gating right now, so the Roche will be pretty healthy by the time they get there. Aurora knows that they're smoked up.
Yep. Ollie and 23 together in the trees. You leading the charge. That a shield rune as well? Ooh, that's very nice for the Tusk to have. Gonna allow him to get off that Blink Dagger way easier.
Yeah. They see the Bristle.
Critical. Yeah, they see the Quills coming.
Always looking for a jump.
Smokes pop. They see Quinn. Do they go though? Immediately onto Ollie. BKB force out. It's cool jabs. He's looking with the Gluttony to go in here. They want to try and take down the Titan before he can get up the Ravage, and they're successful in doing so. No ace, no Ravage, no buyback. But Quinn still hitting from the sidelines here as Dyrachyo is able to run down Ollie. 23 and Laurenov really hesitating on this one,
Blink.
but Q's going to be blacked in. He's got the blink away. Jumping from the slug immediately into the ultimate from Tofu. He can't get out. He's got no escape. Slug is dead. Quinn takes him down, and without your slug, what can you do, Aurora? Nothing at all. They're trying to get themselves out. A kick over from Q, but I think it's just kind of delaying the inevitable here more than anything. A punch up will seal his fate. Q is dead. GAIMIN clearly winning this fight, and honestly, so much of that was down to Tofu with that incredible static storm.
Yeah, he did it, right? He actually lived, and he got the ult off after the BKB on Slark, and the sniper lived. They were able to kite. I think a lot of it was they caught the Batrider on this initiation with a really nice like positioning from their team, like kind of in the tree line, but also being far enough in front to break. I thought when Ace went down pretty much without clicking a single button, the fight was looking a little awkward for them. But again, I think 23 had to use a BKB pretty early on the poke, like to take down the Tide, and on his re-engage, yeah, they just take him down so fast.
On the replay here, like the damage they can do with Dyrachyo and Sniper, and there is no other distraction from them. With the Batrider being
Quinn
dead,
is an Aegis.
Zeus just kind of freecasting on the sidelines, doing what he can. Yeah, Quinn, Butterfly, Aegis, Sniper, hello.
Yeah, Lorna felt like he wasn't really able to do too much in that fight. I think just because the Slark died so fast, he didn't even click his refresher on the Zeus. So, a bit of a sad fight for Aurora. I think they just weren't expecting the Slark to die so fast. And the second the Slark died, they just called it quits. You know, it's like, it's much better for them to be like, okay, guys, Slark died, we leave, don't feed more, than to be like, okay, guys, like, we can still fight. Like, haha, let's go.
Got to be a bit more considered at this point. I mean, it has been interesting. Like, Lorenov built this refresher, and I don't think I've seen it yet.
Yeah.
I might have used it.
I don't think he's used it yet.
He's used it.
The only fight has been this top fight, and oh, they catch Celery's TP with Zeusags.
Yep, they've got the vision down as well, and Q will be able to finish this off just with the help of a Nimbus. Jabs comes in for a bit of XP. He's nearly 25 on the Nature's Prophet. The XP this hero is able to get is pretty insane.
To even remember this one thing though is that even with all these nice plays from gaming, that like big fight in the Aegis, they're still down 19,000 gold.
Yes, yeah, that is the headline.
Yeah, don't forget they are behind. Dyrachyo is strong. Quinn is getting his items, but the map is probably the biggest thing right now in terms of Aurora's lead. That the map is really hard for gaming to play. The fight that they won was because it was a Roche fight, so everyone's forced into like a corner of the map, and they get to hold the tree line and kind of play in that way where they get complete vision. But pushing out lanes, getting jumped on side lanes, all that is still heavily in Aurora's favor.
Yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, we have two pretty big 25s being reached.
Wait, bot lane, Quinn.
Uh-oh. This is a huge target here. Q, he gets the kick back mid-pike as well. BKB's going to have to come out. Oh, big misplay on the ice shards, though. Is it going to matter? Concussive shot coming out from Quinn. Concussive grenade to get himself back. Q just going for the BKB TP out and will be able to do so. That noxious play going to follow him all the way back to the fountain.
Okay. Well, that could have been worse for both teams.
The ulti just connected with the tusk in the fountain.
That could have been a dead sniper with the if the ice shard's connected.
Yeah,
because he was forced to use a snowball just to like go even further, and it also makes the team like it more awkward to cut off. But thankfully for gaming, Quinn gets out, and I think Aurora's just gonna keep farming. Again, they don't really have any pressure on them, and their heroes are stronger at night because of the Slark. The Slark gives vision to bat at night, and then the bat gets to get a free jump. So
hold on, there is a kill happening onto Celery here. Jabs jumping in deep here, just using these Nimbuses, these Thunder Gods. You know, he is level 25 on the Zeus, so he's got the plus 150 Thunder God's Wrath flat damage talent, and they're using that to allow Jabs to just be this angel of death across the map.
Something I want to mention that I think is kind of surprising is Tide does not have Shard, which I actually think is really good versus Slark because it's not purgeable. It prevents him from pouncing, gives him 100 movement speed like no matter what. Even versus the Tusk, right? Like the Tusk can't snowball it during it because it's a leash. And so I think it's pretty interesting that he's choosing not to buy it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's possibly a mistake from Ace.
But I think it's probably the thing that they're hoping he gets it from Tormentor. Bristol's one of the heroes that takes Tormentor a lot, and I think he values all his items more. Like, he obviously needs Blink. He usually needs Vlad's because Tides always rush it. You want the Pipe versus Zeus, and so it's a question of, like, is it better than Force Staff? Probably not versus Slark and the Tusk, and so now he decides to buy it. Okay, he buys it. Right. He was listening.
He's listening, yeah.
Everything's fine. But yeah, I really like this Tide Shard. It is really nice because it pretty much forces out a BKB from Slark if he ever clicks it. But Slark is able to dodge with his ult. Dyrachyo.
Aghanim Scepter on Tofu. That is going to be huge, but they're already going on to Dyrachyo. He's gone too early here, and he might just be losing his life, but the Bloodstone is doing the work. Is it going to do enough? No, it's not. They finished the job in time, and now with the lasso coming out, well, actually, they're not going to be able to follow up on that one. They're backing themselves away. That Aghanim Scepter, Static Storm. Oh, they did? How? Nimbus catched him out. Lauren on God catching Quinn, and now that's the Aegis gone. Can they get him on life number 2? Well, I mean, the cavalry is running over, but they're not going to be here in time. Quinn is dead. Lauren of godlike right now with that play. Eat the trees comes out from Jabs. Aurora, they take down 3 critical heroes, 2 cores and a Venomancer on the side of Gaming Gladiators, and now the push begins.
So the big thing is that he buys his Wind Waker with no BKB, and it means that this Nullifier from Jabs is really good because they're able to focus Dyrachyo down. He also didn't get his Ags off for the longest time, and he was broken, I believe, by the Nature's Prophet, and so he doesn't really get that many quills off. If he actually got Ags, Bloodstone off, or he wasn't broken, I think he lives there, but instead goes down pretty much for free, and
I was surprised.
Things are looking really good for Aurora.
I was wondering why as they move on to the barracks here. Lasso out onto the Disruptor. It's a huge target, and they will bring him down. No buyback on the Disruptor. No Static Storm with the Ags. Aurora, is this enough for them to go for the Megas? They're certainly looking like it right now. Jab's already looking to take down the tier 2. Aurora desperately want this win. Puts them in a much better position as they run up the high ground, taking down the leaders of their group by the looks of it. I mean, still a long way to go. You're still playing against a sniper, but if they get the Megas here, which is looking like they will, that is going to be a huge, huge step forward. It's going to make it so hard for GAIMIN to play as they move on to the... I mean, Ty's just dead! He is just dead. The damage is too much. The kickbacks from Q, absolutely phenomenal. God, what a pickup from Q, and like what he's been able to do with it has been absolutely ridiculous. It's just broken GAIMIN, honestly.
All right, how long will the Bristle sniper hold, guys?
Look,
they could actually hold till 60 minutes. Is the funny thing. Like mega creeps don't matter outside of not leaving the base.
I know, but I don't think they will because of this. Because of this, the toss backs again. He's got the wind wake to try and get himself to a better position. They've got the nullify. They've got the break. They've got everything coming down into the bristleback. He can't live. He can't do a thing. Duraccio is gone inside the Venn diagram of death. 100 seconds. No bristle. Aurora. They don't want to wait around until 60 minutes. They want to finish this shit. Win though, still alive, still standing strong. Roshan respawning soon as well. It's just the better play.
Yeah, just relax. Don't get too hyped. Win is more important, right? It's better to just take an extra like 2 minutes to win the game than do something stupid and throw.
Radiant are scanning.
So just take a free Roche. Sniper will defend and... Okay, this Satanic on Sniper... I don't know. I think he needs a Rapier. I don't know if the Satanic... I guess he also needs Satanic because just there's so much casual damage.
Just look at these two.
Everywhere. They do want to get a pick off.
I just watched them run the entirety of the middle lane. They just ran down middle lane. TP back from the last fight. Literally running it down. I'm telling you, 23 and Q are done with this. 30 seconds still in the bristleback, but I mean, pushing doesn't seem to be an option. They're just looking to see if they can chain some more kills together. You still got the stacks on the Slark, so 23 feeling strong.
They're gonna keep pressuring this.
Oh. Ravage comes out and gives them the setup here for the Static Storm, and I think the Slark is just gone. Punished for the over-aggression. Hanging around on the enemy high ground just a little too long there. And yeah, I mean, it does cost them Ravage, it does cost them Static Storm, but a death on the Slark, absolutely worthwhile.
I think the big thing that happened there that was kind of a mistake was Q was in range. Because he can save from the Static Storm. He can BKB, he can pre-BKB, blink in, and then snowball Slark. But unfortunately for him, I think his blink was cancelled by a Plague Ward by Celery. It was a really nice play. And yeah, he wasn't able to save his Slark. And I also think if he's able to snowball him, the Slark will be able to BKB out of snowball. I'm actually not sure on snowball BKBs. But still, good kill. It is 40,000 gold. Lead for Aurora.
Oh, I thought you meant for the kill, and I was about...
No.
yeah, 40,000.
I mean, if Zeus
massive.
Literally deleted his hero from the game would be even in terms of gold.
That's worrying.
Yeah, that's pretty sad when it's a 4v5.
But that said, you know, we mentioned it before, gold somewhat... I mean, 40k is a lot.
40k is a lot of gold, even at this point in the game, but...
Yeah.
60 minutes, I would say, is the biggest time that gold starts mattering less and less because these tier 5 items start mattering more. Like,
yeah, you just get like a...
You get some weird item. You get a pyre hat or something. You get a mirror shield that starts like reflecting lasso. Like, there's a world where they get 3 mirror shields. Like, every core in gaming gets a mirror shield. And then how does Batrider lasso people? Or they get...
Would you... If you're forced to make neutral items affect your net worth, what value would you give them? How much do you think they give you compared
tier
to
5s?
Items? Yeah.
All of them? Like if they're, I guess they all have to be equal.
Roughly.
Probably like 6K.
6K.
Probably like worth an Ags, eaten Ags.
Okay. That's, yeah, a lot.
It definitely depends because sometimes the issue with neutral items sometimes is you get 5 really bad ones.
Yeah. And
you're just like, oh, okay, I had to use like Book of Shadows on a core. I guess that's fine. It's 13 stats. But this game for Radiant, there's Force Boots, which is really good versus Tusk and Nature's Prophet, and I believe it works the same way versus Slark as a normal Force Staff. There's Giant's Ring, which is really good. There's Mirror Shields versus Bat. I think that's probably the only like really good ones. There's a Magic Lamp for Bristleback I could see for a Purge, but
That one's really big.
We're still a long ways away. I think Aurora's planning on ending the game before these neutral items.
They want to go for one more death push for sure. This is do or die for GAIMIN Gladiators. Can they defend against the Aegis Slark coming at you? Suddenly, this Static Storm just doesn't mean as much. They find him straight away. It's going to be the Venomancer who gets jumped, actually. Celery trying to make his way out of this one. The Static Storm comes down. It is onto the first life of the Slarks. They will take it from him, but it's a trade for Celery right now. Duraccio, Ace, still trying to hang out on the front lines here. Duraccio feeling strong, but getting kicked away from the fight, and that's going to allow 23 to just unleash onto Quinn. Quinn, though, standing his ground, seemingly not giving a damn about the Slark, and Slark is actually losing quite a lot of health from this. He's got to back himself away. The team just not behind him right now.
He might get glimpsed.
Uh-oh. 23, not respecting the glimpse at all. Ball back into the middle of everybody and dead again. Oh my god. We're going the distance, friends. This is why you don't doubt Gunnar. When he says we're going to 60 minutes, we are going to 60 minutes.
I wanted to be wrong. Okay, they just have Disruptor, Sniper, Bristle. Like, joy.
Enjoy.
This is fun. Remember the...
This is very, very similar to the game we casted yesterday with, I think it was Extreme versus PSG Quest.
I mean, Disruptor's really good at defending the base just because the spam vision and also this 20 talent is crazy on Disruptor. It's a 6-second duration kinetic, duration kinetic field. Especially for Slark, who wants to be this mobile hero. If he doesn't have BKB, he just pretty much he dies if he gets kinetic field.
He's even got a refresher orb and it just didn't do anything.
Yeah, I think he probably dove too deep. He was expecting to just instantly kill Quinn, I believe, but the Satanic's finished for Quinn, and he was able to just kind of man up and just hold his ground.
I think the evasion made a big difference, even though I feel like he didn't get the Bloodthorn on him, because Quinn just wasn't taking damage, and there's no way that happens if he's...
Yeah, he was able to purge it with, I believe, the BKB or the Satanic. Like, he purges the Bloodthorn with one of the two, so he doesn't really take any extra damage. And the Zeus is... I feel like Lornov is not really able to do anything in the fights, which I don't think is necessarily his fault. I think 23 is just jumping really deep, and Lornov doesn't want to commit too hard for a fight. Ace, though, it looks like he's just going to go down kind of for free.
Yeah. Dared to cross the river.
A little too far forward, I would say.
At the very least, yeah.
You don't really need to...
Buyback, though.
Yeah, he has buy. It's just one of those deaths at this late in the game that feels pretty bad. Because you know that you're going to get jumped on this river. And there's nothing you gain from going that far out. It just feels better to play it much more relaxed on your side of the map. Thankfully, though, I don't think Aurora will actually force a buyback. Like, I think they're way too scarred from everything that's been happening that they don't want to just end the game too quick.
It takes a lot to stop 23 Savage from running at you like a madman, but I think that last fight might have done it.
They also are waiting for nighttime. Nighttime makes their draft significantly stronger. You know, I keep saying it every single time it's night, their draft, I says, gets like 20% stronger or something, 30% stronger, just because of the Slark bat interaction. So nothing, no Roche. It doesn't even start spawning for 4 minutes. Which means it starts spawning at 59 minutes. And you know it starts at 60?
I do.
It is looking like it's going to happen. But not there yet. I really don't think Aurora will push, though. If they try to take this fight into or with an Aegis and it didn't work out, you know, why are they going to keep trying to take it without an Aegis?
If there's some way you can catch out Tofu or get him to use this static then maybe there's a chance they push the high ground after that happens. But the problem is he's got buyback now as well, so it's a blink buyback disruptor. You can't.
The biggest thing would be Q getting a jump on something like a Bristleback, I guess. But now that Bristleback has his BKB, I think he's really, really strong. He's also about to hit 30, get this more spell lifesteal talent. Zeus is also going to hit 30. I don't think his 30's that massive. The AoE Lightning Bolt's like fine.
To be honest, his 20
Ollie top.
More important than his 25. I won't lie. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ollie. Going and almost getting himself killed by Quinn.
Wait, Q's looking. He has the blink.
Yeah, they are. They're being very patient.
Could have caught Quinn, actually.
I mean, they don't have their team. The Slark.
Yeah, Slark's not there at all. All he lives with, I think it was like 100 health. Sniper just wasn't able to ult him.
Lorinov wants the wisdom rune, gets it. Getting closer to that AoE lightning bolt talent, which will allow him to farm up even more, because that's what he needs to do.
So any other big talents?
Last hits aren't enough.
Let's see, Batrider is level 26, so he's the 25 talent. The Flame Break applies sticky, which is a lot of damage. Usually we saw that it used to be level 20, and it was like the craziest talent in the game. But now it's fine, because usually you get it so late in the game that every hero has like 2-3 dispels on them. Like Sniper has BKB Satanic, Verso has BKB Wind Waker. Tide is Tide, you know, so not really gonna be too scary of a hero. Ollie's job, I'd say this game, is to kill Quinn with a lasso or kill Tofu, preferably Tofu. And it's not too much of an ask, but it's definitely really hard with just, I think the amount of damage that gaming is able to do on heroes, like between the Bristleback and the Sniper, is just getting to this really, really high point.
Yeah, so you go in, you try to lasso up the Disruptor and get him, drag him out of there.
You just died 3-4 hits.
You're just dead, yeah. Been blended by the Bristle. You've been shot down by the Sniper. Clay bat shooting, so... I don't know, get yourself a heart or something, I don't know. Wind Waker's going to be the option. You can Wind Waker with lasso on, can't you?
You can, yeah. You are slower than normal, but you can. All right. Does Sniper take the +1 take game duration? Is that talent even good?
What's the other option?
I mean, just like not taking it.
Oh.
Because like you just have you're just slower for an extra second.
Yeah.
I guess the slow has been buffed. It used to be like a 60% slower or something at all levels. But now it's only a 30%. So he'll probably take it.
Yeah, it's decent-ish damage. I mean, maybe with a headshot knockback.
It's more attack range too.
Better. Yeah.
It's 200 attack range. So
yeah, probably makes it worthwhile. There's heroes out on the map right now from GAIMIN. Yeah, they're looking at Lorinov. They're going to catch him. Oh, they don't get the kinetic off. Is it going to matter with the Raps coming down? They'll bring him down. Zeus is gone. 1,700 gold to Duraccio.
All right. I don't think he needed the gold, unfortunately.
Everybody else. Yeah, I don't know what he's going to buy with that. Moonshard and Rapiers, maybe.
Probably a Moonshard. Is pretty good for him because he doesn't really have any attack speed items outside of his AC. And his hero hits really hard. Like he hits for what, 700 damage right now. So just getting this like extra attack speed will matter a lot. All right, we got some more disconnects. I hope hopefully the packages were not lost.
Losing packages.
And or they were found.
Seems like everybody's back. Yep, packages found. We're good to go. Looks like Slark is looking for a nullifier. I would guess with that Sacred Relic or Rapier. Let's Courier.
It's nullifier. It's nullifier.
It's nullifier.
Don't worry.
That makes
We're not getting that crazy yet. All right. The one thing
it doesn't even feel like a good one to me.
I want to call it that is really cool is Lorinov bought a Midas to guarantee the tier 5 items instantly.
Yeah.
So he buys it really early so that hopefully by the time it's 60, he'll have like 2 charges ready and he'll use them both. And also the Zeus death means that it will get to tier 5 items because the game will not end unless they catch Quinn.
Although they find Quinn, this could be huge here. I mean, Quinn does have the buyback available, but yeah, this is enough. Just the 2 heroes able to bring him down. You dare go for a camp outside of your base, Quinn.
And also the cool thing is Javs bought a Revenant's Brooch.
Oh.
Which is pretty interesting. It's probably to kill the Bristle and Sniper better because they have so much armor that just being able to do like magic damage is like a lot better.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know if I've really seen it as like a Nature's Prophet item before, but
yeah, I mean,
it did a lot of damage to Sniper.
Does he have any crits in his build? No, he doesn't.
He does not. So
yeah,
it's good.
It's very good. Interesting.
All right, Duraccio has his tier 5.
Do we see it there onto the kill onto the Sniper? Yes, we did. Revenant's Brooch doing 2,700 damage to him with his right click. So that's pretty key. All right, tier 5 neutral items. Let's have a looky. Well, hold on, never mind. Q
Mirror
has
shield.
kicked himself out of the base with a mirror shield. All
All
right.
right, that's funny. Mirror shield's really good, I guess, for his Tusk.
Cool. At least he kicks himself in the right direction. That's a lot.
Gabs has a Deso 2. Ollie's looking for the jump.
What the? That is so deep. I mean, he's gone fishing and he's found a slippery little snake, but throwing him all the way back is actually going to make the kill kind of awkward. Lorinov comes in, tries to get down a bit of damage, but Ollie almost getting melted by Duraccio. Duraccio, he has used the Bloodstone here kind of early. We'll see if that can be
Celery's
punished or not.
still
There's
alive.
another kick back onto the Venomous. They're just trying to drag this fight out of the base, but I mean, Duraccio just running around doing what he wants. Ace is here as well, but he can't get off the Ravage. He doesn't have it yet, in fact. And now a kick out. Get that Bristle out of here. Get him out of my face. And go for the reset on the side of Aurora. They get a couple of kills, and they get themselves back. They hit that reset button. So, how the hell did Celery survive through all of that?
He got kicked back twice. He's still fine. They lose
He
both
took a
tier
ride on
4s.
Tusk Airlines.
Yeah, they lose both tier 4s for that trade, which ends up not being the greatest for gaming. They took a lot of base damage, but yeah, that was a interesting fight. They took it with no sniper, which is why I think it was honestly a good fight for Aurora, like acceptable. I think if Sniper was alive for that, that would have been really bad. They would have gotten like probably crushed. The bat would
That's why
have
they
died.
would've
Tusk would have died. So thankfully
That
they
was
were
another
able
reason
to
move the fight back with the...
yeah, to keep it away from the sniper respawning. And also just when you drag the team out of base when they're in base, it means that creeps just do a lot of damage to the buildings. So if that fight happened again, the throne might just die to the creeps in that situation.
It does stop any sort of attempt at stopping this Roshan. That's going to mean yet another Aegis for the Slark. And he's even got himself the Book of Shadows. So you joked earlier about seeing a Book of Shadows on the cores, but we're seeing it. Yeah, just quickly run through it.
Let's
Sorry,
go with all neutral items. We got the Mirror Shield on both Sniper and Bristle, so no more kickbacks. Pyrohound Tide, which I think is just for gold, to be honest. Tofu's still picking his. He also bought a Pyro Hat. Okay, more gold. And then Deso 2 on Furion, Book of Shadows Slark. Batrider is deciding his still. Zeus has Book of the Dead. I assume this is just to be a backpack. And that's mostly because his tier 4 is so good, the Timeless Relic, that it's really hard to beat it with a tier 5 for a hero like Zeus. So it's better to pick one of these items that you get to casually put in your backpack, right? Like Book of the Dead, you click and then you put it backpack and it's fine. And then Ollie has another Book of the Shadows. So Book of Shadows is really nice to save your teammates from the Disruptor ult. Like your guy gets Disruptor ulted, then you press Book of the Shadows and he lives.
Yeah, it's huge. Do you reckon if he had Seer Stone as an option for Lorinov, he would have gone for that over the Timeless
Probably,
Relic?
yeah. I think the Seer Stone makes it so much easier to just click your spells that it effectively is more damage than a relic, just because you get more spells off. And then
Finally,
Celery gets Force Boots
on Celery, yeah.
Very nice. And Ollie still does not have one, which he just doesn't have it. He just didn't pick. I guess Ninja Gear is probably too value for his hero, that he doesn't want to give it up.
Seems that way.
Yeah, it's just chilling on Courier. He has a Healing Lotus on his Courier. He has a Roshan's Banner, 2 Dusts, and a tier 5 token. He just has this guy carrying everything.
They found Quinn's Courier, which had Naganins on it, so...
A full ag.
Yeah, no more quick shooting assassinates. But on the buyback screen, you can see everybody has buyback, unsurprisingly, so...
Yeah. So, thankfully, nothing is going to change in the next 3 minutes for either team. I guess the Aegis will be out in 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so maybe 23 and Aurora will look to try to end the game. But...
doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's this hard position where everyone gets their tier 5s, but no one's like... It doesn't change the game state enough. And the funny thing is, actually, this double Pyro Hat will start to gain them gold. Like, slowly, they're going to keep getting more gold, because every time they click them, it's like 700 gold for the whole team in total. And they have 2 of them. So they've gained for their team 1,400 gold right now, every minute. A little more, because it's a 40-second
good
cooldown.
income. Yeah. All right, Disperser now grabbed for the Slark, so he's got that Refresher Orb in the backpack. Moonshard eaten up. Disperser grabbed. I mean, maybe he can afford to go for like one more item if he wants. Switch out the refresher orb. Makes the fights a little bit awkward for him. It's a bit stressful to juggle all these items in the fights.
Zeus is also just completely slotted. And he has 6,000 gold. I mean, everyone from Aurora is pretty slotted.
They got the stun out with the Nimbus. The kick up is there, but Q, oh, he doesn't get off the Walrus kick in time. It's just a little bit awkward with the cast range there. Couldn't quite pull it out. And that means Quinn gets the
Jabs is just going for throne.
Jabs is just in. He's going for the Ancient. He's trying to finish the game. Can they stop them from doing this? 23 into the cover of the ultimate, just going for it, but the fortification is there. Aurora, can they finish the job? Laurenov's in, just trying to click away, and they do it. That is how it's done.